good day, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on this world. Let's just say it like that. Welcome to Asia and O's Trackmania Championship Day 2. Today we will be witnessing the winners bracket final, loser final, and the grand final. So, to have a minor recap of Day 1, yesterday we started with the first 8 players that we started off this playoff bracket from yesterday. So if we have a minor look, we had the winners final being played out. Semi-final 1 between Einol, Fitty, Gaming Boy, and Chang, where we saw Fitty and Chang going through the semi-final 1 and thus making it to the winners final, thus sending Einol and Gaming Boy to the losers final. In the second semi-final, we had Winky Face, Min, Simply Nick, and Spider duking it out, and where we saw Winky Face and Min going through, thus sending Spider and Simply Nick into losers semi-final, where in that match we saw relatively a wicked match, with Simply Nick having an insane comeback and then in the end sniping the slot in the losers bracket final together with Einol, although it was very close between him and Spider, but sadly Spider's mistake there cost him the slot and continuation in the tournament. As well, today we will be witnessing the winners bracket final, which is going to be between Chang, Min, Winky Face, and Fitty. We will have a small recap just before the match, but also with already doing the recap, I will be joined by Krizo for the first 2 matches for today. And Krizo, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, bringing you all the action from today's matches. Had some awesome matches yesterday, absolutely awesome to watch. Some crazy races, big wipeouts, and looking forward to see how everyone goes today.
So yeah, soon we will have the matches starting. Matches will start in approximately 7 minutes. It's gonna be the winners bracket final. So in the winners bracket final, it's gonna be a matchup between Chang, Fitty, Min, and Winky Face. So who do you think are the favorites in this matchup? We did see that both Koreans did win both of their respective semi-finals, had a solid performance, have improved a lot of times in there, but of course don't count out of the Australians as well, since Fitty was the winner of the last Asia O's Trackmania Championship in the summer edition, and Winky Face has been stepping up his game all the time, has been on the top of OCE leaderboards in the campaign, and also starting to pop off in the couple of day reruns, and definitely starting to improve as a player, now trying to fight for some world records and maybe starting to challenge Mada in the campaign rankings, but will be able to challenge the Fitty and rest of the Koreans in this tournament as well. Don't count out Simply Nick and Einol. That's going to be a match that we're going to be witnessing a bit later on. So who do you think will be the favorites in this matchup, or will you be biased about your own countrymen Fitty and Winky Face? Or do you think that Koreans who have actually their very first few competitions in a while now happening, or will they be able to pump off in this matchup?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an amazing match. Korea versus Australia. I'll try and not be biased here. I think after watching Min's performance in that second match yesterday, he absolutely dominated that bracket. His performance on 23 when everyone around him was struggling was something to watch for sure. So I think Min is going to be someone to watch out for. I think Fitty as well. He's going to be strong. He did have a disconnect during his semi and was still able to make it back and qualify. So I don't think we saw Fitty's strongest performance just because of that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at Min and Fitty, but definitely not going to count out Chang and Winky. Winky, I have noticed he's improved a lot of times in the records of the track today. So he's definitely been working hard. But it's going to be a good match, but for sure I'm looking at Min and Fitty to go through to the finals here.
Okay, Min and Fitty. I will say actually those two are gonna be the contenders. Also, one thing to note that Chang has moved to west coast of the United States, so he has not the most optimal time conditions. So that's a thing to keep in mind as well. But we actually a bit look at the players who will be witnessing in this match that's going to be upcoming. So first, one of the players we already mentioned is Fitty. Fitty is a player from Australia. Actually started playing with this new game, as is 20 years of age. Plays on a controller Xbox One. Main preferred camera is camera 2. Mainly preferred styles is dirt surface and precision-like maps. One of the best performances for him has been first in the last AOTC, as we already mentioned, in the summer season, where he managed to win. Actually, he had a flawless tournament there. He did not lose a single match when it was the massive double elimination bracket format being played out. And then when his first edition, his first competition was in the spring edition of AOTC, or the Asia Trackmania Championship. In the first edition, when he was quite new to the game, new competitive scene, he did manage to play 6th, so it's a major step up. And let's see if he'll able to maybe pull a 2-timer here, and maybe to defend his title, and as well as get some cash prize on top of that. So the next player is one of the more experienced players in this region, Chang. He is also quite new to the new game. Only has been playing in Trackmania 2 and Trackmania United or Nations Forever. Is from Korea, is 26 years of age, plays on keyboard, and is very versatile with cameras. He prefers mainly in camera 3, plays dirt in camera 2, and ice plays on camera 1. Mainly is a tech player, used to play in Team Q and Alpha. In Team Alpha like 5 to 6 years ago, has been quite a bit of a common player in the FB weeklies that were happening in like 7 or 6 years ago. I think some veteran players of Trackmania will remember the good old times of Raspiel weekly races, and he managed to get some solid performances there. Also had played in ESL CPS Team Tech competitions together with Team Q and Alpha. I believe he played at Acor as well, so some of the very notable names in terms of tech team competitions. The third player in this winner's final that we're going to be witnessing is Min, since we have a small increase with Korean interest in the game, in the competitive scene especially. Is 19 years of age, does play in a hybrid setup between keyboard and controller. Main camera is cam 1. Plays also in is a bit of preferred style of a tech and very short style maps. Although it's during this competition he has definitely improved on different surfaces as well, and has definitely showed a solid performance that he can be a very good all-rounder, having a very sick performance yesterday in the semi-final. One of his best results in his opinion is joining VSP, which is a quite prestigious Trackmania Nations United Forever clan. However, he recently was starting to challenge Karyan on this current season's Fall 2021 Tech Track, where he managed to join a world record from Karyan. Karyan did take it back, but definitely that's showing that he can challenge the top positions, and he already has like a couple of pretty solid campaign positions on some of the maps. So definitely a player to look out to, especially since he's starting to get more involved with the new game. So definitely a name we might witness in the future. So also, after this bracket that's going to be played out today, after the 3 matches, there's going to be a minor announcement coming regarding the seasonal series as well. But soon we will have the match going soon. We had already a notification that the server has been set. So some of the players already have joined the server, are not warming up at the moment. As we see that some players already warming up to the match server. Currently spectating Min, and we already have fixed some minor technical issues that we had yesterday as well. So thankfully there will be we have a bit improved in this kind of regard, but let's see how it will go today. So what do you think on what kind of player expectations, as you mentioned that Fitty and Min could be the best favorites here? But who do you think that maybe what kind of a maps could prefer some other players that maybe we could see an upset in such a pick? Since I personally also do think that Fitty and Min are the strongest ones, but since Chang has actually improved some of the times and some of the maps, it's I definitely think that he can also definitely challenge the Australians for those grand final slots.
Yeah, absolutely. Chang, I noticed in the open qualifiers he struggled on the SIK, the Euro map, the Hutai is it? And
Huta.
Yesterday we saw him okay.
Huta.
Yesterday we saw him improve his consistency there, and I do believe he's possibly made. Oh no, that was a day ago that he improved his record there. So I think that's going to be a big map for him. He is strong on the burn it all down tech map, but I think if he can maximize his points he gets from your map, I think that'll definitely give him more of a chance. Winky Face, I believe, has improved his time on the campaign map, which is good. I think he really struggled on that map, as did a lot of players. I think Min showed absolute dominance there. But I think if Winky can work out some consistency and push that map, he'll also do better. He's very strong on this map, on Chalk, as well as on, I believe, Slice. He actually has the best time there. So Winky has some strong maps. It's definitely just the campaign map that let him down. But Fitty and Min have just seemed strong everywhere. So I still think they're going to be the ones to look out for. And Chang and Winky just have to get through their problem maps, sort of maximize the points they're getting, and they'll be able to take the fight to Fitty and Min for sure.
Yeah, actually I'm now checking the leaderboards and looks like Fitty has and Winky have improved some of the times here and there on maps like Slice. And as you mentioned, on 23, where Winky has beaten the Koreans in terms of time, has set a top 20 roll time on top of that, with Min at the moment sitting in 22nd roll position on map 23. But we saw that Min was looking very, very consistent on 23, while others were having a lot of mistakes, since it's a quite punishing map, and one tiny mistake, one tiny misjump can really, let's say, ruin your run. So I do think that some of the consistency will be the main thing, and maybe not so much of the pace. However, since we're starting to go to the top 6 of the tournament, we're definitely gonna see a bit more consistency, and definitely the pace will be pushed to get those plus 10 pointers, since they will be very, very important if they don't drop out or don't make it to the grand final, as only 2 players will not be present there. As we at the moment, we're gonna be spectating the winners bracket final, where all of these players will have like the second opportunity if they do drop out of this match. They will still have the opportunity to play in the loser bracket final, where they'll have a possibility to bounce back into the grand final. But let's see how it will go, as we have 30 seconds on the way in the warm-up, and then we'll be starting the match. From your experiences from the open qualifiers, which were your favorite maps personally, and what do you think are the hardest parts that might not look like that they're that difficult, but they actually are?
Yeah, so on this map, actually, this was definitely my favorite. I don't think it was my strongest map, but this ice section we see Fitty playing here is a very, very tough section. Avoiding clipping that checkpoint is very precise, especially keeping speed off that ice as well. We are about to jump into the game, but keeping speed off that ice and not clipping the checkpoint is very, very tough to do. And we are going to jump right into round 1 here. All 4 players often racing. Fitty going for the inside line, losing out a little bit as Min's going to take the lead. Winky and Chang are right behind him though. Fitty hovering there in 4th place. Everyone very close. Avoiding the engine, stand there through the engine off section now. Into the bobsleigh. Fitty a little bit behind. Very, very close race up ahead though. Just half a tenth in it. And who's going to get this drift right? And into this important section. This ice. Through the checkpoint. Winky looks like he has it clean. Does anyone clip? Looks like everyone through cleanly. Min, Chang and Winky in a 3-horse race here. And who's going to win? It's going to be Min, just beating out Chang and Winky.
What
really,
an
really
insane round. Like all of the entirety of the
absolutely
round, all
crazy.
3 cars were basically touching each other all out the way. But looks like the Koreans will be starting the match with the 1 and 2. Chang almost with a bit more optimal line was able to snipe Min even for those plus 10 points. So looks like they will definitely have to push for the pace, as we saw that the mistake from Fitty definitely made him completely lose out on an opportunity to gain more than 3 points. As we're entering the second round, looks like Min tiny bit touched the sand. It seems like already that could be like the round killer here. as we already have a ridiculously close match, a very close entry. Close players are very to this pack. Chang doesn't have the most optimal bobsled line, doesn't get the most optimal smooth steer there. At the moment, the pack is led by 2 Australians. Looks like Min has a bit better approach, doesn't maintain a bit oversteer from Fitty, loses a bunch of speed, allows Chang to even overtake. Very solid line there from Chang, and Min will come take. No! Actually, Chang still maintains his third position, and Min gets the plus 10 pointer, and already he's in a 20 points in the second round. With these insane close rounds happening, having those 2 round wins is really impressive.
Yeah, really close round again. A phenomenal ending by Min, able to keep so much speed through that drift and gets the snipe on Winky at the end. Important. Oh, and Chang touches at the start, so he's going to lose a bunch of time. That is a huge mistake with how close these rounds have been. Min, Winky and Fitty all battling for the first place. Min touching a little bit of sand, doesn't look like he loses time. Everyone keeping the upper gear, it seems, through the engine off. Fitty running a little wide. Winky and Min are going to do the overtake. Everyone through the bobsleigh, still very, very close. Chang slightly behind. Through the drift now. Winky with a decent lead. Fitty and Min battling for that second place. Now through the ice section. Min running wide, just clicks the checkpoint. And there's the first one to fall victim, a massive time loss. And it looks like Winky is going to keep it safe for the 10 points with Fitty in second, Chang in third. And will Min get the finish? It doesn't. Oh no, he does just get the 3 points. Important to make sure you're still getting those 3 points.
Yeah, but sadly his mistake very early on cost him the round. But looks like Australians now finally take the 1-2. Definitely gonna be a close match. This just shows as soon as you get that one mistake, bit of a release, doesn't get the most optimal gear, it's already enough to completely lose the round and miss out on those plus 10, plus 6 points that are gonna be very important, as Min this time has a bit slower start, doesn't get the most optimal lines at the start, while we have the rest of the player field as at the top very close. Very similar lines. Looks like Chang tries to force for the lower gear bit there, entering the bobsled. Min has a very nice bobsled, but catches up on the rest of the field. Chang doesn't have the most optimal one. Winky Face at the moment in the lead. Very sketchy line from Min. Still manages to lose speed, get a slowdown from that. Risk is pushed, gets away. Chang gets the CP, but Min gets an insane speed amount that turn. Gets even a very nice drift, but looks like it's going to be Australian 1-2 with Winky Face taking the plus 10 pointer in this round. And this will be the last round on this map, as Chang looks like he gets an unfortunate respawn in the checkpoint and does not get points due to that. And now we have Winky Pace actually leading the pack with 30 points exiting first map.
Yeah, what a round. Very, very close up the top, as we are going to move on to the campaign map, which is Fall 23. Again, the matches here yesterday were absolutely crazy. There was so many mistakes, and just keeping it clean seemed like the way to go. Having said that, as we've talked about, Min was extremely strong here. There's a very, very risky jump that you can do between trees, and there's even a riskier jump where you jump over a bush, and Min was even able to pull that jump off a couple of times, which is crazy to do in a live round. Doing it in time attack is one thing, but actually doing it here is absolutely crazy. Having said that, we have talked about Winky has set a time today here, which is top 20 in the world and has the best personal best out of all the drivers here, but didn't have the most consistency here yesterday. So let's see if he's been able to work on that. Definitely has the raw pace. Min with a 27 world time, just 22 world time, just a couple of thousands behind Winky. So they both have a lot of pace, and it's just going to be very interesting to see who can keep it consistent in the rounds, as we are about to move in to the first round on Fall 23.
Yeah, this is one of the maps that are quite mistake heavy, as it definitely requires, as we saw, a lot of players need to definitely push for the max space if they really want to get those round wins and plus 10 pointers. But this is a map that really requires or can pull out a lot of mistakes from the players. So it's let's see what will happen there. Chang tries to get over the link, tries to build up as much speed as possible from that part, gets the Neo slide through the CP, has the most optimal line so far. And goes even for the middle part, gets it perfectly, gets a solid performance, as Min actually gets an early mistake. Fitty and Winky Face are in a fight for the second position, as Chang has a solid lead so far, gets a nice run easier, and is nothing too difficult. So there's a little room for mistakes there. But at the moment we have Fitty trying to catch up and extend the lead from the second place. Builds a lot of speed from the plastic section, but it's not enough to take over Chang. And Chang will get a +10 pointer in this first round.
Yeah, really good round by Chang, keeping it clean. And we already see some mid 50 runs and low 50s. So pace is looking really good. Unfortunate mistake by Min early. Put him out of the round. But we are going to move on to round 2 here. Let's see how we do. Min looking very clean. Actually has a nice start. Fitty with a lot of speed through there though. All drivers fairly close through the plastic part here. No airtime. Round still very, very close as we slide through here. Winky slightly behind, but definitely can catch up here. Who's going to risk it through the trees? It looks like Min actually clips over the plastic. Winky also clips the plastic, so big mistakes by Min and Winky. And Chang and Fitty are now battling for the lead. Chang actually with a nice half-second gap here. Chang looking really strong. Fitty touches as well. So Chang, can he keep it clean now? Everyone else has made a mistake. All he has to do is drive cleanly to the finish. But that's what we're talking about. So many places to risk and crash. And we are actually in a battle for third here. And Min with another mistake is going to get the 3 points. But what a chaotic round.
Yeah, and definitely the Chang definitely is the person who takes the advantage of other players' mistakes, trying to keep the consistency up throughout the rounds and capitalizing on other people's mistakes, getting those +10 pointers as Winky gets an looks like a good old Aussie internet moment. Well, we are actually Min gets a side touch, so it's a 1v win between Chang and Fitty for the rest of the map, with the early mistakes happening from both two players. And looks like we'll be able to Chang to get 30 points from this map, as it gets a very nice Neo Slide, gets the pole touch in the mid plastic section. Fitty now goes for the safer route to not push it through the middle part, as we saw that previously. It happened in the most unfortunate of ways. As it looks like with the big gaps happening at the back, Chang and Min are at the moment in second and third place. As looks like Fitty will get a pretty safe +10 pointer in this round. And it looks like the Koreans fell to the mistakes of the 23.
Yeah, absolutely. Fitty, the one able to capitalise on everyone's mistakes that round. Good 10 points for him. It's tied at the top now, 40 points for both Chang and Fitty. Winky just behind on 38, so very close at the top. And this will be our final round here on 23. So let's see how the players handle this round. It actually looks like someone already made a mistake. Someone touched on the inside, I believe. Min might have been. He's about half a second behind. Winky has taken the lead here with a really nice start. Chang still there behind him though, keeping it clean. Gets a nice slide through the checkpoint section. Good speed through the poles. Does he risk this jump? He does. He gets it cleanly this time. Close between Winky and Chang for the lead. Min and Fitty battling for third and fourth now. Everyone through cleanly so far. Now through this section, close to the flag. Keep the upper gear. No airtime. Everyone looking good. Winky, Chang really, really close though. Chang looks like he went high for a bit more exit speed. Actually has more exit speed. Does he get the snipe? No! What an amazing round though, really, really close. Winky Face does secure the 10 points, holding off Chang barely in the end.
Yeah, looks like Min is starting to crumble a bit as he looked very, very solid on 23 yesterday when it was played, but looks like this time in every single round he got a bunch of mistakes and did not get to a proper single clean round, and due to that lost quite a bit of points due to that. But Chang meanwhile tried, even though with a couple of mistakes here and there, managed to score the most points out of any other of the maps. But now we're gonna be moving on to Hute XXL, which is one of the very mixed style maps with I think the most infamous ice part at the end. At first, at the start of the tournament, we saw that the Korean players were quite struggling on the ice surface, as we mentioned that both of them are coming from a tech-only background and just recently started to switch to the new game. So with the ice being quite a new surface for them, I think they at least will have the most issues, as Winky Face and Fitty already had been playing with this new environment a bit more often, so I do think the Australians might cash in some bit more points than the Koreans. But we saw that yesterday still Chang and Min were able still to get some proper rounds going and But let's see if it will be enough to take over some of the points from the Australians, as we're gonna be starting the first round on Who the XXL.
Yeah, absolutely. Winky and Fitty definitely look strong here. If we look at their personal bests, but we are jumping into the rounds. Fitty goes for a different line there. Does the inside across the grass. Works out fairly even, it seems like, whichever you prefer to go. So all the drivers are very, very close right now through this dirt section. Try and maximize the exit speed. Everyone able to do it. Fitty a little behind, very, very close. As we see, very close race ahead between Chang and Winky. Everyone on top of each other. Wash off speed for the ice slide, and you want to set yourself up here for the bobsleigh. Looks like everyone through cleanly. Chang might lose a bit of speed there. Winky has a very, very big lead. Fitty actually with more speed is going to chop Min there, and Winky will take first place with Fitty in second. Fairly clean laps by everyone though.
Yeah, looks like Chang did not had the best. Chang and Min did not had the best entry for the bobsled part. That lost them a bit to the round. So this is one of the things that I said about, since the Australians have a bit more experience on ice surface playing, having a bit more experience on the game, that definitely made them pull out ahead of the Koreans, who are not so familiar with the surface. As we have the first mistake from Fitty already in entering the dirt part, and we have a 3-way fight between Winky, Chang, and Min for those plus 10 points at the moment. Winky is leading the pack, followed by the two Koreans. Let's see how it will go on ice stand. Looks like Winky has a solid ice slide. Chang and Min a bit not looking that great there. Fitty also not having the best approach there. Min completely sliding out. Looks like Fitty still managed to save himself in some way, as goes to the side from side. But at least Chang will be able to get... Oh, he had to even respawn. And due to that, I think he will not be able to finish the round, as Fitty at least gets the +4 at the end, and Winky gets another +10 points, closing in on the finalist every round.
Yeah, unfortunate took it to finish, but Winky looking really, really strong on this map. Actually, his the times he's doing are currently better than both the Koreans' PBs right now. So Winky with some really good pace here. Let's see how we do this round though. Fitty takes the dirt cleaner. He made a mistake there last round. Everyone has nice speed, keeping it very, very close. The drifts here. Chang running a little wide, gonna lose out on exit speed there. Fitty with a very nice lead here. Looks like he's running wide. Might have a good entry into the bobsleigh. Winky also looking like a good entry. Oh, he's a little high actually. He's going to lose a lot of speed there. Fitty with a very nice entry. The Koreans will both overtake Winky there because he had a bit of a awkward line into the bobsleigh, so wasn't able to maximize the speed through that section. And Fitty is going to take the 10 points this round.
Yeah, looks like that Min is still quite struggling, doesn't really get the big pointers, while even Chang, not having the best of rounds, still managed to get those +6s at least here and there. But Winky still managed to use this map to his advantage and scores in and starting to increase the lead for him, as he's at the moment in a minor lead over the rest of the playing field. Min not having a bit falling back, as we actually have Chang taking the lead. Before the tech slide, builds a lot of excess speed throughout the part. Min sadly with not the best part, but let's see how it go in the ice part, as we saw Koreans a bit lacking the pace here. Min not having the best of slides. Chang hits the CP. Min managed to get an entry in the bobsled, at least in some form of fashion. In the second place, as Winky did not have the best of slides as well, but will be able. Winky has to go for the safe route, and looks like Min... Oh, sorry, Chang was this time who was in the last positions, and due to that, Fitty will, both Australians actually will start to increase the gap over the Koreans in this matchup.
Yeah, so the ice there a bit problematic for a few players. Winky actually running really wide on his ice slide, and I know when I did that it was very easy to slide out. So did well not to slide out there and to keep it clean and keep his composure and go for the safe finish. So important 4 points, but we now are going to move on to Sliced by Tallybird. Another bit of a mixed map, a lot of dirt on this track. A few transitions. Transitions at the finish line can be a little bit awkward. It is quite risky to make that jump for the finish if you make a mistake. You want to push very high on these dirt corners as well, so very easy to touch a tyre. A lot of places to risk, but I expect these guys to be doing it very, very well. If we look at the PBs, we see Winky has the best PB. of all the drivers here with a 43.634. Fitty actually set a time just an hour ago on this map, just behind Winky with a 43.718. And then Chang third and Min is fourth. But everyone's time's very close, so it is going to be about consistency here and who can push some of these sections and gain those few hundreds, those few tenths to go for the maximum points as everyone's finishing their warm-up, and we are just about to jump into the first round on Slice.
Yeah, Slice will be one of those maps where we might see another like close rounds happening behind the players because the PBs are very, very close from them. But it's very easy to, due to this push space, to have some minor mistakes happening here and there. As Min, actually Chang goes for the inside line, gets a bit thrown out of the outside, doesn't rack up that much excess speed due to that, but it's still quite equal in terms of pace. Winky Face still goes into the lead, following by Min, Chang, and Fitty. Let's see how it's all entering the grass part. Looks like the close back between the top three players. Fitty is a bit behind. Looks like he got a minor gear down there to increase the gap between the rest of the playing field, as it looks like very close. Winky Face at the moment leading. Chang has a very sick line there. Min very close, very tight. Tries to build as much speed as possible for a potential snipe, but it will be still Winky Face taking the plus 10 points, following by Chang, Min, and Fitty at the back. Winky Face, another solid performance, gets another plus 10 pointer just to increase the gap from the rest of the playing field on a scoreboard.
Yeah, Winky getting close to that finalist mode now. Looking pretty strong, another couple of good rounds and he'll be there. But let's see how everyone goes moving on to round two. Let's see if Chang goes for his inside line. He does go for his inside line. Min actually touches there, so he's going to lose some speed. So Chang gains an advantage early, but does lose exit speed going for that line. But it does work out to be fairly close here, as he and Winky are going to push for that 1 and 2 race. Fitty just behind. Min's made that little touch, so he's about a second off the pace. Everyone through this section, you want to get the gear before you make the jump to the grass here. Through this section, just turn left and pray. And now through this dirt section, Chang actually losing speed. Fitty's catching up. No, Chang with great exit speed though, but not quite able to catch Winky. Really close in the end, and Winky securing another 10 points, looking very strong right now.
Yeah, looks like since he's only 5 points away from entering finalist, he has 14 points of difference between the second place, which is Fitty. Looks like Koreans definitely need to step up their pace if they wanna get a slot in the grand final right away from the winners final. So they definitely need to try to do some damage and try to attack the Australians if they wanted to have something for the change. Because it looks like gonna be a bit closer pack. Looks like Fitty tries to attack actually for those plus 10 points, so Winky actually have to just to do the first or second place in the round as Fitty crashes out. Looks like we have a close fight for those plus 10 points, so Winky just needs to get a top 2 placement and he will be able to enter the finalist status in this match. As it looks like the Koreans are trying to deny. Chang touches the side of Winky Face also, so it looks like it's gonna be a free plus 10 points for Min due to that. And Chang denies Winky the plus 5 gap, and actually Winky will barely will just be over Fitty in this round and will still not be able to enter finalist, but at least Koreans will slowly now get closer to them, to the rest of the playing field, as there's only 2 points difference now between Chang and Fitty.
Absolutely an important round for the Koreans there. As we move on to the next round, Winky, Fitty, Min all battling for the lead. We saw, Winky actually touches, they're going to lose a ton of time to everyone. Fitty through this section cleanly where he made a mistake last time. You want to turn right as soon as possible to get up this grass hill, and Fitty went a little bit too early last round, but seems to have sorted it out, and now he's got a very nice lead here over the Koreans, trying to chase him down. Chang's actually going to overtake Min here. Min a little slow there, but Fitty with a really nice advantage is going to secure the 10 points, it looks like. Chang holds off Winky in the end to hold down second, and that will put Winky into finalist mode now.
Yeah, no, Winky with his first finalist attempt in the match, but it's gonna be done on the next map. I believe we will have a full map rotation now being done, if I believe. Oh no, it's gonna be Burn It All Down, yeah, from Super Roll. Will be the map where we potentially might see the match unfold or be the last map in this match. This was one of the maps that was looking quite good. Min was looking very sick on. If we check the times, looks like that yeah, majority of these players in this match are actually the best players in this match. As we saw yesterday, Min doing solid 50.1 ones being done. World record here is by Winkyface, who did just 3 hours ago, 49.5, following by Min with the 49.6. Chang and Fitty both also improved their personal best to a 50.0 from both of them just a couple of hours ago. So we might expect another close match here, but it does look like that Winky and Min are the favorites on this map. But we saw a bunch of mistakes happening here and there from the players as they will try to push for the best. But I do think that we might see a similar rounds being done as we saw on Nacho's map.
Absolutely, I'm expecting some good races here, but as you said, easy to make mistakes, easy to push it just that little too far and clip a tire somewhere. But let's see how they go. Winky is in that finalist mode, so he just needs this one win and he will be through to the grand finals. So let's see how he goes. The driver's all off to a really good start here. Make it through this drift, this transition here. Who does this well? Chang and Min, the Koreans, out in front here. Looking very good. Fitty a little bit behind here, a few tenths. Winky trying to challenge Chang now for the second place. Keep the speed through the grass section. Very close race for the lead here. Fitty keeping an eye on it. Now we go into this short plastic section and then through the booster. Who does the drift well? Min going for the inside line. Really close to clipping some of those walls. But he is right on Winky, right on Chang. Who's going to get more speed out of the dirt? Min with really good speed, right neck and neck with Chang. One final drift, and oh my god, what a race. Min just getting the win there. Really good end by Min to secure the 10 points and deny Winky from winning this round.
Yeah, this looks like the map where we could potentially see Koreans making a minor comeback, as actually Chang is just 6 points away from entering finalists him as well. Sadly, Winky's first attempt in finalists was not successful, and Fitty is also just 3 points away, so Fitty just needs to finish. As we have the fastest player on this map out in the first round, so it might be an ending is if Winkyface managed to win this, or maybe Chang or Fitty might deny. It's still a very close fight so far. Fitty tries to attack, gets a lot of exit speed, not the best line from Chang right there, but the fight is still quite close. Winky still maintains his first place coming up to the plastic turn. Gets an oversteer, looks like both players now are on a very equal field. Chang tries to push it from the inside line, but does not work out. Fitty still now in the lead, trying to deny Winky the finalist. He has only like 0.3 difference, but I think it might be enough unless major mistakes happen in the end, and Fitty will be denying finalist for Winkyface and will enter the finalist status himself. And now we'll have the first double finalist round as well. Chang is only 2 points away from finalist himself.
Yeah, this is getting really close now. Winky's been denied twice, so not able to get out of finalist yet. Fitty joining him on that finalist status, and the Koreans also very close to it, so let's see who can keep it clean here. Chang with a little bit of a slow start, losing out a couple of tenths. Min going for the inside line to overtake Winky. Winky and Min really close here. Fitty also in the mix. Min with slightly lower speed than the Australians through there. Chang actually catching up now. Really good exit speed from him. And Chang going a little wide here, but looking like he's going to keep a little bit of exit. Fitty actually with a really wide line allows Chang to catch up. Winky and Min really close though. Winky with slightly more speed. Fitty also in the mix. Winky touches. Min touches Fitty now. Winky is completely out. Can Fitty keep it clean? He does. And Fitty is going to be our first winner. What a round.
Yeah, very unexpected scenario here. Fitty is the first player sent to go into the grand final, denying Winkyface the opportunity for a couple of rounds now. And due to that, we have Chang now entering finalist as well. If Winky or... And there's only one opportunity for the players to enter the final from this match. Looks like at the moment Chang and Winkyface are in the best positions, or it's up to Win to deny. Okay, we will have the final decider on who will be going into the grand final. Looks like Winky Face is on a bit of an upper hand so far, but looks like Chang is trying to attack for that first place since Min is out of the round. And looks like Winky Face at that moment in his lead. Chang tries to push for the inside line, try to build as much speed as possible. We did see Winky Face having a bunch of mistakes at the end, but will it be enough for Chang to potentially catch it up? He does gain as he gets a bit more speed, but will it come down here? Winky Face is a very sketchy line there, but looks like it will be enough. We have seen mistakes at the end, and it looks like it will be both Australians going to the grand final from the winners bracket final. Both congratulations to Winky Face and Fitty, who will be the first two players in the grand final. And due to that, both Koreans will be now playing the losers bracket final that will be played in approximately 30 minutes. But once again, congratulations to Winky Face and Fitty on being the first two players in the grand final. And due to that, they are 100% secure for some prize money on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Winky and Fitty, as you said. Chang not quite able to bring it home, and Min unfortunately didn't quite have the performance he showed us yesterday, but both the Koreans will get to have another chance. They're not out yet. They are going to go into the lower final for a chance to make it into the grand final to join Winky and Fitty, who are our first grand finalists. But quite a chaotic match there on the final map. There was a few mistakes, a lot of bonks, but Winky and Fitty able to keep it clean for long enough to win the match first and second. But absolutely crazy to see some of the mistakes in this high pressure situation. And yeah, what are your thoughts on the match overall?
Yeah, it was a very close match. Definitely they showed at the start of on the very first map that this is going to be one hell of a spicy match. All the time having very, very close rounds between each other, where there was only less than a 0.05 difference with some of the players here and there, where just a gear loss was enough to be last. Or be like 100% last position. So that definitely was something that a bit surprised me, that the pace that they were doing all the time was also very top tier, just doing 0.1 from WR basically every single round. Very solid pace and very solid performance to showcase what does the Asia and Oceania scene can do in the game as well. Soon we'll have a minor break. And then we'll have a match between in the losers bracket final. But what are your thoughts on at first we said that potentially Min and Fitty will be the players who will be looking the strongest. Actually, Winky Face was looking as the most dominant one in the match, but sadly in the where he needed to perform, he did not. And due to that, both Koreans will be sent to the lowers bracket final. As we will be witnessing now, it's going to be between Chang, Min, Simply Nick, and Einol for that in that losers bracket final. So in the losers final, the bottom two players will be eliminated and will be secured in 5th and 6th positions in the tournament. Whereas the top two winners under the same format will be now facing off in the grand final later down the day. For some extra prize money. So the prize pool for this tournament is $200, which is so far the biggest one we have seen for the Asia and Pacific or Asia and Oceania region, where it's going to be distributed for $90 for first, $60 for second, $30 for third, and $20 for fourth. So just making in the first just making in the grand final will already result in some cash prize. If you're a bit more interested about the formats, also before what happened in the qualifiers, !AOTC, and you can check out a bit more details about the format and how the matches were played out before the main event, before the playoffs in the couple of weeks beforehand. And now we'll go into a minor break, and then we'll be starting the losers bracket final. So see you then.
to be here. We just witnessed an amazing race between Chang, Fitty, Min and Winky Face. The Australians, Fitty and Winky Face, were able to make it through just barely over the Korean players there, and they are our first two through to the grand final. Chang and Min, we are about to see in action in our next match. They are going to be going up against Simply Nick and Einl, so we'll be looking forward to that in just a few moments' time. Fitty and Winky have already secured the top four, so they've already secured some prize money. There's a $200 prize pool the players will be competing for, so congratulations to them. It's now about seeing who's going to be joining them. I am joined by Boney C. How are you, Boney?
Hi, hello. Good morning from me. Good afternoon to everyone out in the Asia-Oceania region. I am doing well. I woke up. I decided, you know what? I'm still pretty tired. Let me just check out the games on the phone. And whew, that was quite the match that I caught there. Like, from what I could tell, just coming into the later half of it all. Quite a turnaround from what I saw yesterday. I was expecting him to do well, but he just seemed to be a bit under pressure, perhaps a bit too much of jitters going on. He will have another chance right now, obviously, to redeem himself. But very exciting match from what I could tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think Min had a much stronger showing yesterday, but he has a chance for redemption. Against Simply Nick and Einl. It's going to be a good match. I definitely think if we have a look at the bracket here, Chang and Min are going to be looking strong. Simply Nick definitely had a much better, is looking much better after his lower bracket performance than his earlier match yesterday. Looked very shaky if we see there, only with 55 points in his match. But in the lower match there that he had a much stronger performance, so he's looking better. Einl looking strong, but if I am going to pick someone to go at, I'm probably looking at Einl. Do you have any predictions for the match?
Yesterday I would have said, you know, if this were to be a result, I'd probably give it to Min and Einl, but I'm a bit worried about, you know, just seeing Min waking up. I might actually just give it to Simply Nick. It just seems like he was able to really, you know, redeem himself yesterday and just make sure he doesn't get too frustrated, because I'm pretty sure that after that semifinals he was very frustrated about his performance. But after a solid redemption in losers round one, I think I'm gonna give it to Simply Nick to close it out. Though I will say it would be nice to see either Chang or Min to go through. It would be the only two Asia players remaining, with the remaining players being from the Oceania region. I mean, perhaps we're gonna have 3 Australians in the grand finals. That is a possibility.
Absolutely, it could be 3 Australians, it could be an Australian versus Asia final, but we are going to dive in and have a closer look at the players they're going to be competing in this losers final. First up, we have Chang, who we saw in action, a keyboard player. Again, we mentioned he has these different cameras that he prefers on different surfaces. He's Cam 3 main, but uses Cam 2 on dirt and Cam 1 on ice. Very strong tech player, has a big background in from the older Trackmania games like Nations Forever. So as we mentioned, maybe a little bit weaker on the newer surfaces like ice and even plastic perhaps, but still a very strong player, and did very well in the match before, just wasn't quite able to close out finalist. And next up we have Min, who again we saw in action. Uses a keyboard and an Xbox controller, so a bit of a dual setup there. Again, for me, he underperformed in the final. I think he had a lot stronger showing yesterday, but I think he will try and turn it around here, and we haven't seen the best out of him yet today, I am sure. But very similar story to Chang, big background in the older Trackmania games, so comes from that tech background, very strong on tech, a little bit weaker when it comes to the newer surfaces. Next up, we are going to have Einl, sorry. For me, Einl, maybe not the strongest in this match, but still a very strong player. Uses an Xbox controller, uses Cam 2 as well. Prefers the mixed style of track, which I think is very, very fitting for this tournament we have. The tracks are a very mixed style, so that might suit him. Had some solid performances in previous AOTCs, and is going to be looking to hopefully make it to the grand final. It will be his best result in an AOTC. He's already equaled his best result, so he's got to be happy, but he will be looking to go one step further. And finally, we have Simply Nick, an Australian streamer. And again, as we mentioned, he looked very weak in his first round, with a lot of mistakes, but able to turn it around in the lower match there, and hopefully he wants to carry some of that momentum through. We see he uses an Xbox controller, prefers Cam 1, again preferring that mixed style of track, which I think is suited to this tournament. Had some good performances, won the first AOTC, AOTS as it was known back then, played in Twitch Rivals, so a lot of experience behind Simply Nick, and I think he'll be a very good player. Looking forward to the matchup. What are your thoughts, Boney?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying with Simply Nick. Really, because the maps themselves are pretty mixed, I think he'll be doing fine. Maybe Fall 23, he has been somewhat wavery on that one, even when he was doing well, right? Mainly capitalizing on mistakes on others, and that's where I think his strength will come in. And we have been seeing Chang and Min just showing a bit more of a flawed run than they did yesterday. So I'm very curious to see if they get the better of themselves in terms of emotions. Because after a match like that, especially as close as it was, I can imagine it's still in your head. That was just 30 minutes ago, so hopefully they'll be able to dismiss that. Einl, I'm just as we said before, we're both predicting him to go through. He is still somewhat of an underdog, in terms of raw performance, but we'll see how he will stack up. We obviously have only seen Chang and Min perform today. We haven't seen Nick and Einl. At the end of the day, it's all about how you are going to perform today. It doesn't really matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what your times are. They give a good indication of what is possible, but everybody has a bad day, right? And right now, it's looking like that is in favor of Simply Nick and Einl, but we can't say anything yet until we actually see the players race against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right, and I wonder if it's going to be an advantage for Chang and Min. Coming fresh out of a match, they might be just that little bit warmer. But you can see there, the two that win from this final are going to join Winky Face and Fitty as our top four, and they are going to go head-to-head for one final match. But it looks like the players are in the warm-up here, and it looks like we are going to be jumping on to Chalk by Nacho, an Australian mapper. And we saw this was our first round last game as well. We had some very, very close rounds and some really good times. It was honestly just minor mistakes like gears, the occasional wheel touch that was the difference in the races. Everyone was able to keep it fairly consistent here. So I'm expecting some good races as we're going to follow Min for a lap. What are your thoughts on this track, Boney? You saw it a bit yesterday.
Yeah, overall, very much gear-heavy track, right? You want to really make sure you're not losing your gear at any point, as that just simply spells disaster, especially at the level that these players have been driving at. So very, very important to keep an eye out on that. And not only that, the iced corner into the checkpoint, we already saw a few bonks happening there. It's very easy to slide a bit too far to the left there and hit the checkpoint on the side. And not only do you hit the checkpoint, usually you end up with a pretty bad respawn, and can be unrecoverable, as Chang ran into just earlier today. So definitely keep our eye on that. Other than that, relatively straightforward. As said before, it's all about the gears. If you can keep your gears in check, then you should be in position to get some good points. But even then, it's gonna be a close one, I expect.
Absolutely. I think this track does make for some close racing, and as you said, that ice corner, there is so much time to be gained if you do it well, but if you push it that little bit too much, it's, as we've seen, you clip a wheel and your race is pretty much over. Your round is pretty much over because it's really tough. You kind of have to do a standing respawn, and it's a very long way to the finish from there. But getting to the end of the warm-up here, let's see how the drivers do. Everyone in their final preparations. Looking forward to it. Should be a very close match here. I think I'm looking at Chang and Min as going to be the pace setters of the first round, but let's see how we go. We're going to dive right in, and we have everyone off and racing. Grab the reset. Looks like Einl running wide there. Has this different line we saw yesterday. It works out to be fairly even, maybe losing a little bit, but still well within the pack. And through, it looks like Chang touched a little bit. He said, Einl running wide, and he's going to clip. Big mistake by Einl. That's very, very costly. Chang, Nick, and Min are going to be battling it out now. Everyone through the bobsleigh, very, very close. Everyone within 300s. Really close. Nip with good speed through the dirt. One final drift now. Min actually clips a tyre. He's going to lose a ton of speed. I don't know if he'll make that jump. Chang and Nick. Nick oversteers, so he's going to lose a ton of speed as well. And Chang going to be the final one left. Just has to keep it clean, secure the 10 points with a 46-2. Little bit of a shaky round to start with, though.
Yeah, unfortunate, not a good round for everyone. Just Chung off to a good start right there. Just taking advantage of his fellow competitors and picking up a nice early 10 points. Always nice to start off with a lead. Gives you a bit of a confidence boost as we head into round number 2 with everybody very close together. Good slide all around. Let's see if the players are able to keep the gears there. Unfortunately, we did see one of the players go a bit too wide. I believe that was Einl going too wide, hitting the penalty dirt. So we just have 3 players remaining at the front. Min leading the charge right now with Nick and Chung right behind them. See how this ice drop is going to go. Good slides going in. Simply Nick keeping a lot of speed there. More than Min. Is that enough for him to get past? Min going a bit lower. It is neck and neck. Which of the 2 players are going to make it in first? Ooh, Simply Nick slowing down just a bit too much, allowing Min to secure the 10 points. Chung coming in number 3. Is Einl going to be able to finish? Maybe? Oh, barely. That was close.
Yeah, very nice. Able to secure the 3 points. What a round, though, by Min and Simply Nick, as we are going to dive straight in to the next round. See how we do here. Einl with a very inside line, going to lose out a little bit of speed. This different line that he has seems to work out even, as always. It looks like actually Min made a big mistake there, clipping over the side. Simply Nick and Einl battling for the lead. Chang a little bit behind, just a 10th and a half. And he actually clips on the inside before the engine off, losing a ton of speed. And now we're going to have a 1v1 between Einl and Simply Nick for the win. Nick with a nice drift here, actually carrying a lot of speed, getting ahead of Einl. A little bit of an awkward line there, and he runs wide and clips. Oh no, so it's going to be Einl. The only one keeping it clean is going to pick up the 10 points. Really nice 10 points from Einl, and what a crazy round. A lot of mistakes. Who's going to finish?
Question mark. What happened?
That was crazy.
Bit of confusion coming in. Like, where is everyone? Mod checking all the other people. Just, yeah, no, everybody just, making too many mistakes. Big mistakes at that as well. But this time it is Einl mod checking the rest, only to get mod checked himself. Unfortunate for him, leaving the rest of his competitors to take the charge right now in round number 4, last round on chalk. See how the players will perform right now. Chung in 3rd place right now, just about 4 tenths behind on the pack leader, Min. But Simply Nick is very close to hunting him down right now. Let's see how the slide goes. Min goes too much in the inside, toward of an attack, clips the wheels over the side of the road. Chung hits the side of the checkpoint as well, and Simply Nick is free to take number 1 in the final round on chalk. Einl coming in 2nd place. Usually what we see happening is if you make the early mistake, you are able to capitalize on players making mistakes later in the round, and he does so tremendously. And we end up with Simply Nick at the top at the end of chalk.
Yeah, a bit of a chaotic map. A lot of mistakes coming out, and in the end, the points fairly close, 26 to 24 there. We are now got to move on to the SRK map here. Pretty mixed map. There's that one infamous, what appears to be infamous ice section at the end where a lot of people seem to struggle with early, but I think we saw a little bit more consistency in the earlier match. Let's see how everyone handles it here, but it's a very awkward ice section. You want to wash off a lot of speed, hold the ice slide into the bobsleigh, and we saw Chang and Min struggling a little bit there. Again, coming from them older games, they're not quite as experienced in the newer surfaces, so they do occasionally lose out. But as we see Chang here running wide, I'm sure they'll be able to put up some good times. Simply Nick and Einl probably a little bit stronger here, but obviously we have to wait and see who does it better. And also, we have noted the finish is quite risky, and if you do miss the finish and have to respawn, then there generally isn't quite enough time to secure points, so you really want to be setting yourself up well on that bobsleigh. And we are going to be jumping right into round one.
Round one, indeed. And I'm curious to see, like, I know right now does have the number 3 time on this map, but that was set a month ago, so, I mean, I'm sure it's still in there. I'm sure we'll do fine, as we do lose Chang at the start of round number 1, and Min and Simply Nick at the front right now. I'm about 2/10 behind, so definitely not out of the race just yet. Let's see if he's able to capitalize on this ice section. This is where you can gain a lot of speed. Min goes a bit wider. Einl goes on the inside using the penalty snow in that situation. It's a bit too inside on the bobsleigh. Not sure he's going to have enough speed to overtake. In fact, Simply Nick doing a fine job jumping into the finish. Min picks up the number 2, Einl in number 3, and Chang rounds things out in number 4. Bit of a chance there, I think, for Einl to overtake there. Simply Nick and Min didn't also have the best slides there, but it was good enough for them to keep a hold of their positions.
Yeah, Simply Nick securing the 10 points there, and we did see, I think it was Min losing a little bit of time on that bobsleigh, so the bobsleigh sections are really tough to maintain speed on as we jump into the next round through the dirt, and I think it was Min might have actually clipped there and lost a lot of speed. So he is a little bit behind here, half a second. Chang out in the lead. Simply Nick in second. Everyone through the drift. Looking good. Simply Nick looks like he maintained some nice speed through there. And now into the ice wash-off speed. Einl going very, very inside. Looking like a good line though. Chang, decent setup. Simply Nick. Einl actually trying to pass. No, Simply Nick maintains a bit more speed. Chang running high. Can he make the finish? Oh my god, what a race. Simply Nick nearly getting the snipe, but Chang able to hold him off for the 10 points.
That was a bit of a risky save fin coming in from Einl.
Yeah, true.
I'm not sure how to call that, but he bonked into the risky only to land in the save. That is nice. Chang was very close to actually overtaking him as well, but Einl still securing that number 3 spot. I think he's pretty happy with that, you know, considering the end of the round there. But as we already are halfway into round number 3, all the players are together right now going into the ice section. Just Einl behind by about half a second. It's going to come down to this ice once again. Who gets the slide? Who does not? Nick goes wide. Min goes a bit more narrow. And you can tell, not enough speed. Chang, not enough speed. Einl is looking to overtake, going for the jump, and he snipes Chang and Min to bring in the number 1 with a 41.6. Chang, Min, second and third. Simply Nick in fourth this time, allowing the rest of the pack to catch up to Nick a bit. He is still ahead by about 5 points on Einl and 8 on Chang, if I am correct.
Yeah,
no,
we're seeing
Min
this.
and then 9 on Chang.
Yeah, and we are seeing this pattern here where Chang and Min are losing out just slightly on the bobsleigh, allowing for these snipes to come through. But we are moving on to the next round into the dirt. Everyone through cleanly. Try and maintain as much speed as possible out of this dirt. Einl looks like he has really nice exit speed. Runs wide though. Chang out in the lead. Through the drift cleanly. Doesn't touch any of the grass. Looking good. Simply Nick a little behind here. But once again, it's going to come down to... Oh, Einl clips on the inside. A big mistake by Einl. That is a massive bonk. Nick now trying to chase down Chang and Ming, and once again having more speed on the bobsleigh. Can he get? He gets Chang. Can he get Min? He does just snipe him at the end for the 10 points. Again, we're seeing Chang and Min just losing out on the bobsleigh there. And Nick is going to secure another 10 points. But a big mistake by Arnold. But he will get the 3 points.
It's unfortunate that he did clip the wall there as he did. He's been taking that inside line there all the time, and it's been working in his favor. Just, this time just a bit too far on the inside. Happens to the best of us. But yeah, you could definitely see Chang and Min just not having as much of a grasp on ice as simply Nick and Aino did, right? They, in essence, they've been playing on these ice blocks for a lot longer. And these situations that we see happening, it's a bit of a weak spot for Chang and Min. But on Fall 23 right now, it was a bit of a bonk show as I was waking up today. And yesterday, obviously, we did see quite a lot of player crashing in various locations on the map. How do you think the players will stack up this time?
Yeah, it is a really crazy track. There's so many things to hit on this track. There's so much time to be gained by pushing it, but again, so easy. And every mistake seems so costly when you make a bonk, you lose so much time. But once again, Min looked really strong yesterday, but wasn't able to keep it clean today. I think Simply Nick might be someone to watch. He actually managed to really do well just by keeping it consistent on this track yesterday, allowing people to crash behind him. So I think it comes down to consistency and who can push those lines and get the biggest advantage. But we are about to jump right into round number 1 here, and let's see how the players handle it. We know Min has the raw pace. We saw it yesterday, but today really struggled with consistency. Everyone through the... No, Einel's going to touch there, losing a ton of speed out to the rest of the field. Min going for a wide drift here, setting up a nice amount of exit speed. Get the drift through the checkpoint, looking clean in between the poles. Setting up this jump. Goes for the risky one over the bush, gets it absolutely beautifully. What an amazing line by Min. To pull that off in a live lobby just absolutely blows my mind, and he gets a massive advantage out of it.
Yeah,
and
the rest of the players are just away.
Yeah,
So far behind.
Min looking really, really strong. Simply Nick in second, but he's 2 seconds off the pace almost. Min is just on an absolute screamer right now. Just has to survive the final corner and will get the 10 points with a 50.2. Simply Nick in second, and then Chang followed by Einel for third and fourth.
Whoa, that was definitely what I expect from Min to come in. As we saw yesterday, right? He won back to back on Fall 23, and this looks like I expected. I was a bit surprised waking up today, but it's nice to see him come into his element right now. It doesn't seem like Einel is having as much luck, unfortunately. He's been hitting the early corners for the past 2 rounds. And this time, Min, sorry, Caster's curse coming in, clips the side of the road, has to respawn again, and we just have Chang and Einel right now at the front. Chang ahead by about a second right now, but that second can disappear if he makes a slight mistake or, the bonks that we have been seeing on this track. He just needs to make sure he keeps his line nice and secure, and he should be able to pick up some 10 points. Einel in hot pursuit. I don't think he's going to try to overtake. He's just going to try to hold on to that second place. There you go. 6 points for Einel. Chang bringing in the number 1 with 10. Simply Nick on 3rd place. Let's see. Min, come on. Min, finish. Do it for me. Come on. No, Min does not finish. No points to Min, and Chang overtakes because of that in the rankings.
Yeah, Simply Nick with a nice lead, but I think Einel will be very happy with second that round after making a mistake. But he has looked a bit shaky early in the lap, just making these slight mistakes in touching. Let's see how he goes this round. Looking very good through here. Driver's very, very close onto the plastic now. Oh, Einel very close to the pole. He does actually clip it, loses all of his speed. So again, an early mistake from Einel. And we have Chang, Nick, and Min, everyone through the checkpoint cleanly. Who's going to go for the risky jumps here? Min again going over the bush. Oh, he clips the checkpoint though. He got the bush jump. It looks like Nick also made a mistake. Min still second. Chang with a huge lead now. Only one through cleanly. And Einel looks like he was well behind. Chang out in front. Looking like he's going to get another 10 points just by keeping it clean. So important being consistent on this track. It's crazy. With a 49.9 actually going sub 50 seconds. Really nice time. Min able to get second. Simply Nick should finish for third, but unfortunately Einel not going to collect any points And Chang is starting to close the gap to Nick now.
He is. Nick has been leading pretty much the entire match after map 1, but it's looking like it's getting a bit closer to his top rating right now. But overall, very, very close match so far. We're about halfway throughout the match, and you can see all the players are still giving it their all. I know right now the only one behind on the pack by about 7/10, and Chang decides to just yeet himself off the left side of that corner. We'll see him probably just a little bit as Min takes the lead right now. Simply Nick in hot pursuit by about 0.6 of a second. Let's see how that ending will pay off for Min. He just needs to keep it together. You don't really have to worry too much about losing too much speed. There's not a lot to be bonked, but he does tremendously, bringing in a 49.8. Great time coming in from Min. Simply Nick rounds it out, the number 2 in a 50.5. Ino finishes. Will Chang finish? He does not. Simply Nick expands his lead from Chang, but now Min is coming in with just 6 points between the two players.
Yeah, and a really nice time, 49.8 point Min. Going for that risky jump over the bush. It blows my mind seeing that in a live game. But we are going to move on to Slice now. Again, another good map we have here with these transitional and a little bit of dirt here. We saw some good races here and saw a few mistakes. Definitely, there's time to be gained by pushing close to the edges of this track. But also, it does make you a little bit more prone to mistakes. We saw Fitty bonking in the very tight chicane section before the grass uphill. A few wheel touches, but we also saw some really good races. Let's just have a look and see who looks strong here. Chang with the best personal best out of everyone in this match with a 43.7, followed very, very closely by Min with a 43.8. And then Simply Nick with a 44.2 and Einl also with a 44.2. So the Koreans look like they're a little bit stronger on raw pace here, but it is going to be about consistency on this map, and let's see who can do it as we see Nick showcasing the finish here. But yeah, it's a very awkward finish, I found. You have to go right, left, and then bounce down and jump to the finish. Very easy to lose speed somewhere and just not quite make it. And Nick showcasing his skills here. So yeah, we're about to jump on into round 1.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like, that safe finish doesn't even feel safe to me, right? As you say that, and you can have some awkward bounces happening there, and that could lead into, despite good pace, simply losing the race due to all of that. But as we are live right now, Einl does make a mistake. Chang had a bit of a weird line. I haven't seen that one before at the start, but it looks like it's still paying off for him. Ooh, Einl leaving the game. Not really sure what's going on there. Maybe internet. Not sure. We'll figure that out later as Min and Chang, the two Korean players, are leading the charge right now and fighting for first place. Min goes a bit too wide on the dirt section, losing all of his speed, allowing Simply Nick to overtake. And not only that, Min has to respawn. Looking like Einl is just coming back in, maybe some internet issues popping up, but he is back in the lobby, fortunately. But no points for him because of this, whatever it is that might happen there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to fall a bit behind, but it does happen, and we see Min unfortunately making a mistake in that last round. But we are jumping into the next. Looks like Einl ran very wide there. I'm not sure what happened, but he's nowhere to be seen now. Min has really good exit speed here. Going to take the lead through the dirt now. Looking very, very clean through this tight chicane section. Turn right as early as you can. No, he bonks. You want to turn right as early as you can to make it up that grass hill, but unfortunately going right a little bit too early, and that's going to be a big mistake. Chang now trying to chase down Simply Nick. Can he do it? One final section left here. Chang running wide, he's going to touch. Simply Nick looks like he just has to keep it clean for the finish, and Chang will have to go to the safe finish. Can Min chop him? Yes, Min chops him. Chang unfortunately having to go for the safe finish. Einl is just going to get the finish in to secure the 3 points.
Oh, we're getting close to the end. Simply Nick on 91 points. He wins one round and he is in finalist mode. Though, to be fair, even then, I'm pretty sure he can get away with a second place right now. But we'll see how that'll turn out as we are in round 3 right now. Sliced, all the players relatively close by. Again, Chang with that inside line, but the rest of the players decide to go a bit more onto the outside. But not doing a lot in terms of times. Just Idle not really having the pace as the other 3 players have right now. Just looking in the back, hoping for a mistake right now. Min in the lead with Chung following behind. They have been having some issues with the dirt corner at the end. Will they be able to keep it together this time around, or is he going to capitalize on these mistakes once more? Doesn't look like it, and Min finishes out in first place. Chung in second, Simply Nick in third, and Aino in fourth. Nick's going to need a few more points to get into finalist mode.
Yeah, he needs at least a second place here to get finalists, but a much cleaner round by Min and Chang, allowing them. They're getting very close at the top now. Players very close to finalist. So let's jump in, see what happens in this round. But yeah, Einl just looking a little bit off the pace and a few mistakes. He a little bit unfortunate, but let's see if he can pull out a miracle and turn it around here. We see he's lurking in the backfield here, hoping for a mistake. The other 3 drivers really, really close though, just 300s between them. Simply Nick, very inside, runs a little wide of the grass though. That's going to cost him a little bit of time here. Chang and Min now out in front, battling. Let's see which of them comes out on top here. Can they keep it clean for the end? Oh, Min clips, no. Chang running very wide too, but he doesn't clip. And it looks like Chang is going to be able to secure the 10 points. And Nick is going to capitalize on that mistake and put himself into finalist mode. So he's just one win away from making it to the grand final.
He is one win away, but Chung and Min are also pretty close to finalist mode. I mean, if Chung were to get second place, Min gets first place, we would have triple finalists, right? I'm just going to put that one out there. Let's see if that happens.
Yeah,
we are on Burn It Down, so Burn It All Down can give us that possibility. I see potential. I know, unfortunately, not only because he dropped from the match for a little bit there, but at the same time, just not having the same pace as the other players had on Sliced, he is falling quite a bit behind at this point. So he's going to have to deny and deny and deny if he wants to stay alive in this tournament. Remember, the first 2 going out winning the match will be moving on to the grand finals. The other 2 will be eliminated, and everybody gets winning the grand finals. So, this is basically being on the bubble for those who are into poker. It's make or break.
Absolutely is, and we are on a map that is definitely going to favor Min and Chang here, both really strong tech players. And being very close to finalists, they're probably both very happy. This map comes up now. We see Min with the best personal best, followed by Chang, then Nick, and Einl with the slowest personal best in this lobby. But again, it comes down to consistency here, and we're going to jump right into round 1. Remember, Nick just needs a win, Chang needs a second, I believe, and Min needs a win to put himself into finalists. So let's see what happens here. Everyone off to a clean start. Simply Nick taking the lead, showing us why he has that finalist mode on his car. Einl looking strong. Oh, Nick actually clips, so that he is not going to be making it out this round. And it's going to be a 3-way battle now for the win. Einl actually with a really nice lead. Actually clips a lot of grass. He's going to lose a ton of speed there, allowing Chang to overtake. Min right behind him. Really close between the Korean drivers here. Einl trying to push the inside line and clips because of it. Didn't actually lose too much time though. But it looks like Min with a nice lead, a couple of tenths over Chang. Is Chang going to push the dirt section, or is he going to be happy with second place? Looks like he's going to be happy with second. Just has one final drift now. Min keeps it clean. He'll secure the 10 points. Chang will secure the 6th. Einl will be third, and Nick with that mistake early. Unfortunate for him.
Oh, yes. The prophecy has been foretold. Triple finalist. Let's go. All right, Aino is on 70 points, so he's going to have to deny his heart out right now. But for all the other players, they just need to finish first, and they move on to grand finals. I'm very curious to see which of the players will be doing it. And Aino hits the pole, so we are looking to have our first player move on to the grand finals and joining Winky Face alongside with Fitty. Let's see which of the players it's going to be. Chang and Min right now in the lead. Nick went a bit wide there, but able to catch up just a tiny bit on the grass. Just 2 tenths between the three players. Getting a bit closer on the plastic right there. Checking a bit wide. Min inside. Simply Nick in second place. Is he able to overtake Min right now? That's all that matters right now. It's just first place. It's not about the points anymore. Min, just one drift remaining, and he keeps it together. Min moves on to the grand final. Simply Nick and Chang are going to have to duke it out once more.
Yeah, congratulations to Min. He'll be joining Winky Face and Fitty in the grand final, and there's just one more spot left. Who is going to claim it? Simply Nick or Chang? Einl just needs absolute wins from here on out. And we are jumping into the round. Let's see what happens. Einl with a strong start. Nick's going to take the lead. No, Einl's still looking strong. Through this drift, everyone through cleanly. The transition onto the dirt. Nick clips. He's going to be relying on Einl here to beat Chang. This could be the race right here. Chang with a wide drift, carrying a lot of speed. Einl clips the grass, going to lose speed again. Chang very wide. Nick isn't actually too far behind, but has a lot of work to do if he wants to chase down Chang in this final section here. Chang really good at tech player, going very close to the walls, but able to keep it clean. He knows what he's doing. And now the dirt section, he touches! Chang has touched, and now it's a really, really close race. Einl has the lead just ahead of Simply Nick. And Einl is going to deny both Chang and Simply Nick. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what? All right, well, that's a way to deny. My word, that was just like it was looking like a straight up win for Chung with Simply Nick and Einl making mistakes, but he's looked to have another chance of redemption. Simply Nick making a mistake earlier on this time around again. Let's see if Chung is able to capitalize, or if Einl is going to be able to chase him down for tenths between the two players. This grass section has been a bit of an Achilles heel for Einl. Let's see if he's able to keep up the pace and stay close to Chung, keep up some pressure as well. I think that's always very important to do. Bit bigger of a gap, but nothing too big. Still, everything on the line for Chung. He has to make sure he keeps his line nice and tidy, keep the speed up. He lost the speed here last time. This time he does not. No barrier for him. Slides on into the finish line, and there you have it. Chung, Min go back into the grand final for a rematch versus Winky Face and Fitty. And unfortunately, with that, we say goodbye to Simply Nick and Einl.
Yeah, we do, and as you said, a rematch. It's going to be Korea versus Australia again. We saw it once today, but this next match is going to have far more value. Congratulations to Min and Chang. Well played to Simply Nick and Einl. Simply Nick did make the finalist mode, just not quite able to close it out, and Einl just unfortunately mistakes and just a little bit off the pace today. Wasn't able to keep up, but we have our top four, and congratulations. That was a really good match to watch. Some really crazy rounds there where everyone makes a mistake and it ends up everyone within a couple of tenths as well after all of their mistakes. Crazy to watch, but everyone has secured Min and Chang have secured their share of the prize pool with that. The top four all getting a share of that $200. So congratulations, and I for one am very, very much looking forward to the next round. What are your thoughts on the match, Boney?
Yeah, it's maybe for some Simply Nick supporters in this one, maybe he was robbed, right? He has been ahead throughout pretty much the entire match, right? And it's just unfortunate that when push comes to shove at the end of the day, right, when he was in position to finish it out, burn it out down basically threw a wrench in his plans, right? He lost out at the worst possible moment. That's really what it came down to. And Chung and Min were able to capitalize in a tremendous way there, giving us that triple finalist. Very, very happy to see that one of my predictions did come true. I usually predict ridiculous stuff like this all the time, but it doesn't always happen. So I'm very happy to see that. But at the same time, very deserved for Chung and Min to get in. I think if they are able to avoid SRK's map on grand finals, maybe if they get it either very early or it's the 5th map, they will feel very happy about the grand finals, because it's very clear that that ice part is just not for them. They've been getting overtaken on that section multiple times during the match just now. And other than that, just consistency. Consistency is key. If you are able to just drive these maps consistently, it is, from what we can see, you can somewhat afford to slow down just a little bit from time to time. It's risky because everybody else is just going at it, but 23 is a good example of that. Burn It All Down is a good example of that, where mistakes will cost you way more than you would like.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see there on the bracket, Fitty and Winky making it all the way through the upper bracket, and they are looking very strong for the grand finals. Chang and Min dropping down to the lower finals, which we just saw, and edging out just barely over Simply Nick and Einl there. So I believe the grand final match will be coming up in about 25 minutes. So don't go anywhere, or if you are, make sure you come back for that, because that is going to be an absolutely amazing race. A race that's been 3 weeks in the building. We started with our open qualifiers last weekend and the weekend before, and now we are down to just 4 players, and we are going to find out who is the best in the Asia and OCE regions. So don't go anywhere. I think we are going to have a little break now, and we'll see you all back here in about 20 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Asia Oceania Trackmania Cup. I am Boney C, and joined for the grand finals with SRK right now, bringing you this conclusion and rematch of the winners' final in the grand finals. Money on the line for all the players. Who's going to get the most? Who's going to get the least? Either way, everybody is in the money. So I am positive that none of the players will be super disappointed. But I am very excited. I think that's the main feeling, the main emotion that I have right now. I hope the rest of the people in chat right now feel the same way. Be sure to show your support for your favorite players. But yeah, how are you feeling, SRK, closing this all out?
Well, it has been more than, almost 3 weeks now of playing in the Asia O's Trackmania Championship. It all started with the Open Qualifier 1 that was played out in the start of October. Where from the Open Qualifier, there were over 40 participants in the first Open Qualifier, from where Einol, Fitty, Min and Winkyface made it through. Then a week later, there was the Open Qualifier number 2, where out of 28 participants in the second Open Qualifier, Simply Nick, Gaming Boy, Chang and Spider came through. From yesterday, we had the 8 best players from these Open Qualifiers now going to the bracket. Now that was starting off in the playoff this week, and now we are all down to just 4 players. Actually, it's gonna be a rematch of the winners bracket final that we saw previously, the Australia and Korea 2v2, as some people said it. But of course, it's going to be a solo event. We will have a bit of a points increase this time, since now the points limit will be up to 120 points. And there are going to be a bit different map order, so we might see some switches up with the placements. We might maybe see the Australians can again pull a 1-2 again, like we saw in the winners bracket final. But let's see how will this work out.
We'll see, indeed. Like Chang and Min were a bit shaky during the winners final. During the losers final, they definitely were a bit more in their element, looking like they just needed to warm up a tiny bit more and ready for another face down, another face off between them and the Australian players. I wouldn't be surprised if the Australian players will be rooting for each other and the Korean players are being the same for each other as well. But at the end of the day, all of them want to be the fastest of the bunch, and I think all of them really have that potential to be the fastest. Winkyface, I will say, is the favorite. He was looking very strong. Fitty being able to just edge out over him during the winners final, so also a very, very strong competitor. I think this final match is very much a good showing of what the top of the player pool is in the Asia and OCE region right now.
Yeah, definitely
it's
a
just,
developing region now. And seeing that they are now stepping off the pace, definitely every single season they're just getting better and better. Especially they're getting more and more as we're getting almost every single edition. There's almost the double of participants in these in these majors for this region. But a bit of a thing is that majority of these players are not able to play in majority of the events that are done. Well, usually for Eurocentric times, for Americans it's usually a bit easier to play. If they're like from United States, Canada, Brazil, because for them it's just early morning, but for them it's a lot way too late in the night. So this is like their main place where they need to like perform, and they want to showcase the best. And also one thing, that there's a bit of a storyline going on, that there is a bit of this rivalry between both two regions, between Asia players and Oceania players. All the time, Oceania has been the one who comes up on top in AOTC's tournaments. In the very first one in the spring, it was simply Nick who won it. In the summer edition, it was Fitty who placed first. And now it's gonna be two Asia players versus two Oceania players in the grand final to see who will be the one, or who will be the better region in this time around as well. Of course, who's gonna be the better player as well, since Winky Face, Fitty, Chang, and Min are looking very solid. Chang and Min being the players who were all the time very quite present in the Trackmania scene. However, they had quite a big of a break, seeing that finally Asia scene is starting to pick off. They were interested in taking part in the competitive scene a bit more, and this is the place where it's actually their very first tournament in very long time for both of the players, and it's definitely showcasing that they have the skill set to have a proper and solid performance, and to showcase what they are capable of, at least in the size of the Oceania and Asia United region level.
Yeah, it's really been just these new blocks, right? We've had plastic come in pretty recently. Ice has been one of the new blocks when the Trackmania 2020 version launched. And while it does seem like plastic right now is not too big of an issue for Ming and Chang, also because it is relatively new for everyone involved. It's really that ice, right? I just expect Hoot XXL to be the map that will be an issue for Ming and Chang, simply because of that end, right? That end has been a bit of a thorn in their side. The other maps, issues can happen, and perhaps bonks here and there, and that's all about consistency. These players are able to make those lines work, and they can do it very fast. Their pace can be very high as long as the pressure doesn't get to them, and I think that is what matters right now. You're already going into this match with the notion that you lost against Fitty and Winky Face, right? That just happened. That was like, what, 1.5 hours ago. So you just got to dispel that feeling. You got to dispel that thought. You got to make sure that going into this, it's a fresh start. Not only that, there is more room to actually gain that lead, right? We're going for 120 points, as you mentioned before, and it's all about keeping your calm, keeping your momentum, and just rely and trust in your lines. It's easy to lose faith, and I hope that the Korean players will be able to keep that up. It will be interesting to see our first Asian champion to be crowned, but perhaps Fitty, I can imagine he wants to defend his title.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the players who will be participating in grand finals, so speaking of Fitty, Fitty is a 20-year-old Australian player, started with the new game, plays on a controller Xbox One, use Camera 2 as his preferred camera. Preferred styles are dirt and precision-like maps. Spring Edition was his very first tournament in Trackmania, where he placed 6th place, and in the summer season he managed to win it, having a very solid performance. Did not lost, or even did not place second in a single match. He got clean swept the whole summer edition. And looks like, will he be able to do this time around, since, well, sadly his clean sweep did not really work out, as he has played actually second in the semi-final and in the winner's final. So let's see what will happen this time around, as it was not the most optimal performance or the up-to-par performance as we saw him from the summer season, but let's see what happens now in the grand final. The second player in the grand final is Chang, also known as Fuzzy if you're a bit of a Trackmania old-timer. He is 26 years old from Korea, plays with keyboard. Main camera is camera 3, plays camera 2 on dirt, and Camera 1 on ice. Preferred styles is tech and very short tracks used to play in Team Q and Alpha in ESL CPS team tournaments as well. Played if you maybe some people remember if you're like all-time Trackmania player or a Trackmania community follower, you have remembered Trackmania Frostbill weekly races that were taking place, and he was one of the also one of the better players in those events, and he's one of the proudest performances from those are as well. So third player in the grand final, also from Korea, is Min. 19 years of age. He's a hybrid player, plays with keyboard and Xbox Wireless. Bit of a keyboard, prefers keyboard tiny bit better. Plays on Camera 1. Very similar as Chang is preferred style is on tech tracks. Hasn't really played in any teams to my knowledge, but recently has joined the VSP clan in United Forever, and as well has been starting to challenge Karyan and as well some top players in the campaign records as well. Recently stepped up in the competitive scene, trying out his best, and definitely the fact that he reached out in the grand final is definitely showing that he definitely is a challenger for Asia, OS, and maybe some future international events as well. And the final player in the grand final, the player who has been looking so far the strongest one in this tournament running in the playoff, and today is Winkyface from Australia, 19 years of age, plays on Xbox One controller, plays with Camera 1, doesn't really have a preferred style. In the previous AOTCs has been in the very first Asia Trackmania Championship, placed second, just behind Simply Nick, and in the summer edition he placed third, just behind Seb and Fitty. Seb actually was one of the players who was looking one of the strongest one in practice, but actually did not make it to playoffs from Taiwan. But sadly, some of the players just performed a bit better when it needed, and looks like Winkyface having his third final appear. I think he's the only player who has 3-time grand final appearances in Asia Host Trackmania Championship tournaments, and looks like we're gonna be soon on the way as the players are slowly warming up on the server. As it looks like it's gonna be Hooted XXL as the very first track. So what are your thoughts on the player pool in the grand final? Was that something that you expected, and who do you see? Maybe we can see some potential position changes happening during the grand final.
Yeah, starting off on this map, I do see a bit of a disadvantage for the Korean players, right? As mentioned before, that ice ending is really a hassle, and Winkyface showing off a great slide right there. I really expect the Australian players to take a bit of a lead here, and in particular Winkyface. I do definitely see him as the favorite. From what I understood, he has been practicing very hard on these tracks as well, and even set a top 20 time on Fall 23 just because he really wants to win, right? And I think dedication like that is very important if you are intending to be number one. So my favorite, I will say, is Winky, and I think for many people is the same way, but that doesn't mean we can rule out any of the other players, right? I still believe Min is a very strong player. He doesn't seem to be having his day today, and it would be nice to see him in his groove, because if he does hit that momentum, hit that spark, right, and goes Ultra Instinct, he will be doing a fair job. But unless that doesn't happen, I kind of expect a bit of a repeat from winners final. Perhaps Chang would be the one coming into second place. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to see all the players play it all out, right? It's not going to be first 2 players and then we're done. We're going to have to determine who's first, who's second, who's third, and who is 4th place.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be a bit, since we already saw that there is this rivalship between the two regions, is that Australians or Oceania region has been the one who has won it before 2 times, with Simply Nick in the spring season and Fitty with in the summer season. But I kind of really want to see that at least Asia popping off at least this time around, as it looks like Min and Chang are looking very strong contenders to represent their region. But will it be enough? Actually, both of them did manage to beat their opponents respectively, where Min managed to beat Winky Face in his semi-final, and Chang managing to beat Fitty in his Chang beating Fitty and Min beating Winky Face in their semi-finals. But looks like they're a bit lacking performance, like they from semi-final as they're. But maybe they will be able to bounce back, and we'll have a top-tier match to look at this Sunday.
Yeah, and top tier match. It is very much promised. I will say. I do think that these are the best 4 players in the pool. I think Simply Nick was a close 5th in this one, right? Having some flashes of genius and showing a great performance in losers final, but just just not able to close it out. Whereas the others, are able to capitalize on that. I think we could have seen him in this one, but regardless, I think this is a well-deserved grand finals for all the players in here. I don't think any of the players got here by pure chance, right? These are prepared, well-oiled machines and ready and poised to take number 1. It's really, I'm going to say map order is going to have a bit of an influence on it. We already see this first map, right? To be an early lead, but an early lead doesn't mean everything at all. And maybe they're hoping for a chalk, hoping for a sliced to bring it all in, the Korean players. And it would be nice to see an Asian champion. Perhaps in the future we'll be seeing more Asian players coming in, and we perhaps have some Thai players come in, have some Japanese players come in and whatnot, right? I think that'll be very, very exciting. But that's looking too far into the future right now. We have about 20 seconds before we go live with the first round of the grand finals of the AOTC Fall Edition.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Definitely, I really hope we will see all players performing at the best, and we all see a very sick match like we saw some of the first couple of rounds on Chalk beforehand in the winners final. Would be awesome to see. But let's see, this map doesn't really favor the Koreans that much, so Australians are looking a bit stronger on this one, as we're gonna go on first round in the AOTC Grand Final between Fitty, Winky Face, Min and Chang on who will be the Asia and Trackmania champion in the fall season. On starting off on Hute XSL, map by myself, and so far looks like already a relatively close round with Chang just tiny bit behind. Close pack between Fitty, Minky Face and Min. Winky Face having a bit of a slowdown, needs a bit of grass here and there. It all comes down to the ice slide on who will get. Looks like Chang gets a bit of a release. Won't have that much exit speed, but looks like a very relatively close top 3 so far. But looks like Fitty will take the first 10-pointer in the match, following by Winky Face and Min in 3rd. And then Chang in 4th place.
Solid first round. Good start for all the players. Obviously unfortunate for the Korean players right now, drawing the short end of the stick, but nothing they can be too disappointed about at all. It was close up until that ice, and just need to get one more good ice slide. But here we are, round number 2. Into the dirt section we go. All the players keeping their footing, or wheeling as you might want to call it, relatively well. But at the end of that third section, Min does clip the barrier right there, leaving only 3 players at the front. Fitty and Chang fighting for first place right now. They are neck and neck. Let's see which of the players reign supreme. Winky Face might come in between the 2 to ruin the party, and Chang slides out, unfortunately, and Winky Face slides into first place. Fitty trying to catch up, but Winky just has a bit too much speed. Maybe a bit of a snipe, no snipe whatsoever coming in. 1/10 difference between the 2 Australian players, and it's 10 points to Winky and 6 to Fitty. Min and Chang do finish, but it's getting a bit bigger of a gap. 16 for all the Australian players, 8 for all the Korean players.
Yeah, so far looks like a solid start for the Australian players, having a very solid start. Although, like I mentioned, this is not one of the better maps for the Korean players, so a bit unfortunate they're starting off on this map. But let's see, maybe they can bounce back and get the proper get some rounds in, maybe get some +10, +6 pointers. As actually Winky Face looks like he tinches the side, goes out of this round. As at this level, it's basically that one minor gear down, one minor mistake literally can put you at the back of the pack. As we have a relatively close top 3 so far. Min tries to goes for the ice sled, and we will actually have a Korean 1-2 as Chang leads, and both of the Australians are out of the round. And it looks like Chang will take the plus 10 pointer, following by Min. And while we have both of the Australians at the bottom. Actually, Fitty barely finishing, and looks like Winky barely also finishes in time. So now we'll have a bit of an inverted leaderboard for that specific round.
Yeah, would be interesting to see if we can get all the points tied up at the end. Very interesting to see. All the players will be able to get a first place on this map if that were to happen, but we're not sure about that. That is just me predicting the future. My predictions work 60% of the time right now. All the players very close together, neck and neck. It's all, again, going to come down to this eye slide. Winky Face bit behind right now with less speed, but as we get into this corner, all the players relatively close by. Min and Chang go wider. Winky Face and Fitty a bit more on the inside, and looks like Winky Face has a great bobsled section going in. Chang trying to chase him down. Fitty overtaking Min, and there we have it. Winky Face number 1, Chang 2, Fitty in 3, and Min in 4th place. Nice round from all the players coming in. Solid times and firm handshakes.
Yeah, so far a good round. Chang actually getting that plus 6 was quite useful for him. Winky Face getting that extra plus 10 pointer definitely puts himself in a minor lead position. As we're going to be moving on to Chalk, we saw previously having very close rounds being played on Chalk, where all players were between 0.05 and doing 0.3 from WR. Like being like 0.3 from world record and being last. Like those kind of rounds. And I think we might see the same thing here as well. And this is the map where even just getting a minor bit of unfortunate gear, a bit of a wider approach, bit of a tighter approach sometimes just from the optimal line can literally will send the players to the bottom, and we'll see that 0-4 on their car. But let's see how this one, because they know that they will have to push for that top tier pace, especially since they know what kind of times people did in rounds in the winners final. So I think we will see a couple of mistakes happening just from players trying to risk as much as possible, trying to go as close as the walls as we already trying to see, trying to maintain those most optimal gears, trying to force themselves in the most better gears. And hopefully let's see if we'll see the top tier rounds as we saw in the previous matches.
Yeah, risk is the name of the game. We know gears are important, but it has been that risk, as you mentioned, right? Players just risking it at all. Round number 1 live. Let's see who is the most riskiest, but at the same time, whose risk will pay off the most. Let's see that first turn right here. This gear right here is very important. All of them keeping the gear up. Winky Face and Fitty just a bit ahead right now, but just by a little bit, not too much. Min goes a bit wide, but does not hit the barrier. Keeps it all together. Great bobsleigh coming in as well. Everybody's still in the mix. Let's look at this slide. Good slides. Chang not that much speed perhaps, but keeps up with the rest. Min slides past Fitty right there at the end. And Chang has more speed on the ice as well, but is it enough at the end? No, bit too much of an outside drift allows Winky Face and Fitty to come back in. What a close round between all the players. Just 2-10s between the number 1 and number 4, and number 1 being Min.
Yeah, and this was I was talking about the close rounds that were happening, and looks like that Chang getting that round win definitely put himself in a bit of a closer field, because the points are starting to become closer from first to last. Definitely helped him out, especially to receive some extra bonus points from the last map, as it wasn't the best performance, as we have Fitty going out, clipping the side, puts himself out of this round, gives an opportunity to Winky Face to potentially get another plus 10 points, but maybe also Koreans to deny, as we saw Min having a pretty solid bobsled turn here. But let's see what will happen. Looks like a very solid 1-2-3 so far exiting the bobsled. Min tries to attack Winky Face with a tiny bit of wider line, trying to rack up more speed. Min tries to attack, tries to force out as much a straight approach as possible. Gets a minor lead over Winky Face. Chang comes out from the back, but it's not enough. He had to release to adjust, and Min will be securing the plus 10 points in this round, followed by Winky Face with the plus 6. And Chang with the plus 4 in 3rd place, and Fitty manages to finish in the last with the plus 3. And due to that, Min jumps to the 2nd place in terms of points.
Oh my word. That line from Min at the end really got me on the edge. Like, I was so sure, like, is he gonna hit the barrier? Is he gonna hit He did not. He did not hit the barrier at all. Solid drift at the end to clutch it all out. Let's see if he's able to repeat his success right now. He is behind right now with Winky Face and Fitty in the lead. Chang, Min following behind, but all the players still relatively close by. The risks are all paying off for all the players. It's really coming down to 0.2 of a second, 0.1 of a second, even in the hundreds. Let's see where we will end up right now. Winky Face with a decisive lead this time, but Min building up a lot of speed on the ice. Does not clip the checkpoint, has to slow down just a tiny bit as Fitty overtakes Winky Face this time with the number one bringing in a 45.4 with Fitty, Min, and Chang rounding out the 2, 3, and 4 spots.
Yeah, Winky Face had a really nice time there. He had a very great start. He managed to basically avoid every single grain of penalty sand at the start, and that put him so far in the lead entering the bobsled part that he maintained till the end. As we're coming up on the last round on chalk so far. Definitely one of the better maps for the Koreans, and they definitely need to try to use the best of work to that while they're still on here, trying to get those extra points from the Australians to put themselves back in the field. So far, Australians are looking for a 1-2, but Min has so much speed entering over the freewheel part, gets a lot of extra speed due to that, coming into the bobsled part, very close for the 1-2-3 so far. Chang is a bit behind, but let's see what will happen here. Min has an amazing exit here from the earth to dirt, tries to stay as straight as possible, gets a bit of an oversteer to try to save himself, doesn't maintain the most optimal exit speed due to that. And looks like it's going to be Winky Face taking another +10 pointer, following by Fitty in the second. So it's going to be a 1-2 for Australia once again, following by Min in third place and Chang in fourth.
Winky Face taking a decisive lead with that entire map, really. Going 16 points ahead of the number 2, which is Min right now. That has to feel very good. You already got half the points going into the third map, which is Fall 23, which, as mentioned before, Winky got a top 20 time on just a few hours ago. He really was practicing well, and if you're just nailing a top 20, I'm sure you're still feeling that time, and you got the pace to secure that lead even more, but definitely don't count out the rest. We have been seeing Min doing a tremendous job there on chalk, and I'm hoping that none of the players will make too many mistakes and we'll have some more close matches as we did in the previous map.
But yeah, this map is a bit of a... If the previous one was a bit of a pace map, this is more of a survivorship map on the terms of consistency. This map is not that easy in terms of to play in rounds. We might expect a lot of mistakes, definitely comparing to what we saw on the previous map, as in terms of difficulty, this map is at least 4 times more difficult. Especially since they will try to push for the top tier pace that players actually can do. A lot of mistakes might happen here and there. But I do think now, since they know what the players can do in the matches they saw in previous matches, that we might see some better, cleaner rounds. But I think a lot of players will try to risk for those +10 points to get in the lead of the points. As we're going on the first round on Fall 23, as we already have first early man down, which is Fitty having an early touch. Koreans at the moment are 1-2, bit of an airtime there from Min's side. Winky Face at the moment in third place. Do we see early mistakes so far? Actually, no. So far, no mistakes from the Korean side. Both go for the mid jump. Managed to go safe and sound. Actually, Winky Face also makes it. Min tries to go, clips to the inside line, allows Winky Face to overtake. Winky Face a lot more speed than Chang, but will Chang be able to maintain his first place? Because he's starting to reduce the gap. He has tiny bit more exit speed. Will call down to the end. Very, very hard to say it, but Chang managed to keep the lead, and it's a relatively close round, and Chang gets the +10 pointer following, and Winky Face in second place, Min in third, and Fitty with his mistake. And so only one major mistake from Fitty with the early clip at the start. But overall, not too bad of a performance from the players on this map.
Definitely not too bad at all, and very needed for Chang as well. He was dead last. He still is last place, but not as much anymore. Those 10 points really helped him out in closing the gap to his fellow competitors. Very curious to see if he's able to repeat that right now as the players make it halfway through the map and doing a fine job until that sideways checkpoint. ruins everything. Just Fitty remaining at the end. Rest of the players are just completely out of it. Fitty got all the time in the world to secure some 10 points. Let's see if the other players are able to secure some more. No, Fitty! He slides out on the plastic, hits the road sign, and Min takes over the #1 spot. This is a bit of a bad showing of all the players around, and it's looking like Min is the best of the worst in this one. Winky Face overtaking Fitty in the end as well. And Chang rounds it out in #4 place. What a round. We went from such a close round 1 with a very, like even close to photo finish to the sideways checkpoint, ruining it all.
Yeah, and this is the threat of this map, as it focuses more on consistency due to its difficulty. Not a very easy map, that's why the mistakes are happening, and this tests out players, how consistent they are and how well they can maintain their car's position on the map while maintaining a lot of speed, as we have saw. Fitty again with early mistake, Min as well touching the wall almost there. Players successfully saved the no slides, as actually both Australians are out in this round. Both Koreans now taking the safer approach. Chang gets a bit of an overslide and gets the gear down on the plastic part. Due to that, his compatriot Min overtakes, but he slides out on the plastic part. And due to that, with Chang trying to take it a bit more too safe, Fitty actually pushes himself into first position, overtaking Chang at the very end. Will we see? So yes, Fitty will take the first place, and very close fight between Min and Winky Face for that third position, where Min comes in second, Min comes in third, but Chang will get the second place in this round. So very nice points there for Fitty. Gets himself closer to those top 2 positions with that plus 10 points.
Yeah, this is really causing Winky Face's lead to evaporate. He cannot afford to make another mistake right now on the final round on 23. Let's see if any of the players will make some mistakes. This time Winky with a bit of air, but a bit of air is the least worst thing that can happen, as Min decides to 50-50 grind the side of the road and flies on out of here. We just have Chang at the front with Winky Face and Fitty in hot pursuit. And it is turning into a neck-and-neck race at the front. Which of the two are going to reign supreme in the end? Great plastic slides coming in from the 2 players. Fitty lurking right behind, about 4/10. Chang going a bit higher. Winky going lower, allowing Chang to have more speed at the end, overtaking Winky Face, securing 10 points. Let's see, Min just gets into the finish line, just a few seconds. Don't hit anything else. You got it. There you go. That's 3 points for Min, making sure he's on the board as well. 2, 3, and 4, very close together, but Winky Face still at the top with 82 points.
Yeah, keep in mind this is still 120 points, so they have to play a bit more rounds, as we're gonna go in Sliced, one of the more pace-based maps in the map pack. We already saw some couple of close rounds, but in this map is since it's very speed-based, a bit of a wider line can definitely toss the players inside the wall that will completely lose them like a 1 or 2 seconds. So they'll have to try their best to push for the pace, as their PBs are like just a 0.1 in between all of them. Yeah, all of their personal best on this map are like between 0.1 from the WR, where Winky Face at the moment has the world record on this track. So it's going to be a very close one, but we might see some mistakes happening here and there, players trying to push for those. As we said, 0.1 from WR is each of their players' max potential pace, so people are definitely going to be pushing for those top positions if to get those plus 10 pointers, plus 6s. But let's see how it will go this time around. There have been some minor line differences. We saw that Chang will go for the inside line, and some people will go for a bit of an outsider approach at the very end. But let's see how it will end up in the end.
We will see. It's very, very tricky, that ending on this track as well. I feel like that is the one spot where pressure really gets to it. That third slide is very fast, and you want to maximize the speed by going as outside as you can, but that is the one place that really leads to disasters. We see Chang right here doing that inside line, as mentioned before. In terms of pace and time, you do see there isn't necessarily a lot of time difference. It's merely a preference of approaching the map itself. Top 3 very close together, with Fitty just following behind right now, about 3/10 at the moment. Let's see if he's able to get closer to the rest of the pack, or if it's going to be a photo finish for first place. Here we get that third turn. Chang going very wide right now, perhaps having more speed to get back to Winky and Min. Does he do so? He does not. He stays in third place. Min and Winky, 5 thousandths of a second between the two players, but Min reigns supreme right now. What a close race. Great round for all the players, starting off on Sliced.
Yeah, Min slowly now reducing the points gap between him and Winky Face. That Winky Face managed to get from Who to XXL at the start of the match. So slowly the field is getting tighter and tighter, or at least Min is trying to get closer as closer. As we're having the next round, Min at the moment in a minor lead with a very close photo finish like CPs. Well, Fitty now attacks with a bit more extra speed. Chang as well at the fact trying to build a bit more speed with the wide side, wider approach. Winky Face still managing to maintain first position. Min gets a bit of wider, higher jump there. Doesn't keep that much speed due to that, but it seems like a very tight approach round. Min gets a lot of more excess speed, gets a bit of airtime, but looks like it's gonna be a solid 1, 3, 2, 3, 4 round. And it's gonna be Winky Face taking the plus 10 pointer, following by Fitty and the both two Koreans in third and fourth positions respectively. And due to that, Fitty now overtakes Chang for third place in terms of points.
What close? Oh my word! From two close races. Unfortunately, this time we're not gonna have as close as the ones before. Fitty unfortunately did clip that border in the sausage jump. I've never been a fan of sausage blocks. That was a very, very good example of why that is the case. But Winky Face with a decisive lead this time. Min and Chang having a bit of a rough first half of the map. Let's see if the second half is any better for them, or if Winky Face is just gonna drive a solid time right now. He is very much on pace to set himself up for first once again, extending his lead. There you go, that's 10 points in the bag once again. 108. He just needs to get, let's say 2 wins, a win, and a second place, right? He has options, he has potential. There's a lot of room, a lot of space for him to get into finalist mode and perhaps close it out, but definitely don't count out the rest.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a chaotic round before, as we were gonna enter the last round on Sliced. So Winky Face looks very solid in this match so far. Almost touches the wall right there, so almost did a caster curse there, but we have actually both Koreans now in the 1-2 positions. Australians trying to attack, Min pushes for that pace to rank as much speed as possible. Winky Face with a very nice inside line right there. Chang tries to go a bit too wide there, loses tiny bit of speed and increases the gap between other players. Min gets a slowdown there on the landing, loses his top 2 position in the round. Due to that, Australians are in the 1-2 so far. Winky Face again in another plus 10 opportunity. Doesn't have that much speed, but is still enough to maintain the plus 10 points. So another 1-2 for Australia in this last round on Sliced.
Round and Sliced, the Winky Face just needs to, just get through the finish line. Doesn't really matter, right? He just needs to get through the finish line. We are at the 5th map of the pack. Burn it all down, and this is where we will possibly crown the winner. Right now, Winky Face very much in position to make it all happen. Rest of the players are going to have to deny him a couple of times to even get into finalist mode themselves. So it is very much make or break, and it's Winky Face's match to lose right now. As like I said, he just needs to just hit the finish once right now, and then think about winning. Right? He can have 2 warm-up rounds if he wants to put it that way. But I don't know if he's just gonna accept that, or if he's just gonna go all out from the start and try to be as dominant as he was showing off to be on Sliced. There was definitely a lot of competition happening there, right? A lot of close races, but Winky Face was very, very solid, driving 44 ones pretty much all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those tracks that I think both Koreans again will be able to potentially get some solid rounds going. But let's see how it will go, as we're gonna be starting our first round on Burn It All Down by Superroll. which is one of the guest-made maps for the competitions to open that was added to the Open Qualifier number 2. So far, let's see how it'll go. Finkyface just needs to finish this one round and he will be in finalist as well. But so other players can, but he can potentially deny the points from other players, so he has more finalist opportunities. And so far, he looks very solid in the first place in the round, falling by Min. But Min slowly does close in the fact Fitty tries to attack. Min does lose a bit of speed there, goes over the penalty grass, thus loses quite a bit of excess speed in the process, allows Chang and almost Fitty to overtake. Fitty attacks for the inside line, but the excess speed isn't too much, but doesn't really gain that much over the Koreans as Min touches the wall, but Chang gets a sick exit speed from that part and even overtakes Winkyface as Winkyface gets the gear down that makes him lose the round. And it looks like this might be a plus 10 pointer for Chang, as we will have the first finalist and Winkyface will be that.
He faced in finalist mode, as mentioned, right? He just needed to finish. That's all he needed to do. A bit unfortunate that he wasn't able to deny more points in the end, but right now, all he cares about is finishing in first place. Nothing else matters right now. All the other players care about is stopping Winkyface from doing exactly that, as we have a very close start to burn it all down. Let's see if Winky is able to close it out. He does clip the ramp there a tiny bit. You got a little, road on the downturn of that dirt. Did hit that. So right now, it's looking like the Korean players are in a very, very good position to get some more points on the board. Winkyface decides to just go for a little bit of a yeet, accepts that this is not his round to win, and allows the rest of the players to pick up some points. This is going to be Min picking up the first place. Good slide coming in, and it is 10 points for Min, 6 points to Chang. Fitty picking up 4, and it's going to be Winkyface having another try at closing it all out.
Well, but at least he has the points gap where he can afford to have multiple attempts, where he can properly go for those round wins, as he has over 19 points difference over second place, where is Min. As we have first early mistake, and it was actually Min who gets the early touch, and Chang as well, so it will be a 1v1 between the Australians. Will Winkyface get to first place and win AOTC Summer, thus keeping the Oceanic region being the most dominant one in this tournament series? Or he touches the CP touch on the side, got so much speed that he actually got the roof hit, allowing his compatriot Fitty to overtake Fitty as well. Touches the side. Min, with his early mistake, now goes into the lead, falling by Winkyface and Chang. Like all of the pack now overtakes Fitty now. Min gets a bit of a sketchy line. Winky goes for the inside approach now, but looks like this might not be the round for Winkyface to take it, as Min, in the end, gets the plus 10 pointers, and Winkyface will sit in finalist for one more round.
Round in the Min, let's see if he's able to deny him once again. It would put him in finalist mode if he gets first place with that deny. Winkyface definitely is feeling the pressure, right? It's been 2 opportunities right now for him to close it out. This is his 3rd try, and let's see if he's able to keep it all together. Chang and Fitty right now at the front, as Winkyface did have a bit of a bad transition onto the 3rd section. I don't think this is going to be it either, unless the other players all decide to make mistakes themselves. We have seen before, if you make the mistake early and everybody else makes one, usually you're the one coming up ahead. But it's looking like none of the players are feeling like they want to drive bad. No PayPals around here. Fitty, Min, and Chang going into the finish line. Let's see this final drift coming in. Fitty actually hits the outside of that corner, allowing Min to come into finalist mode as well. We have double finalists at the end of Burn It All Down, and I'm pretty sure we're now going to go back to your map, right?
Yeah, looks like who TextXL might be the one who might decide the winner, as it seems like it, as there are gonna be 4 rounds being played. The odds of having the first winner here are very, very, very high. The problem is that this map wasn't looking that great for the Korean players, but maybe some miracles might happen, but also Winkyface looks like he's in a quite of a high pressure situation. A lot of mistakes are happening from his side. He has such a big points gap, so many opportunities to finish off his finalist attempt, and it still hasn't worked out. Now that slowly the rest of the playing field is starting to catch up due to that, and he definitely needs to get his work done if he wants to win this competition. But it's gonna be very sketchy. Other players also don't count out if they kept denying. Maybe even Chang or Fitty can even overthink. So it's gonna be very scary now for Min and Winky to actually do it. The pressure is gonna be high, and let's see how will this go.
Definitely, I'm if denies will happen, I'm expecting Fitty to be the one to bring down the hammer on Winky's chances, but that is just a prediction. 60% of the time, it works every time. Fitty with the inside line, whereas the other players decide to go on the outside. Doesn't do a lot overall, as all the players are nice and close tucked together. Winky Face and Fitty exchanging first and second place. Chang and Min doing the same, right? It's again a fight for that ice. Who gets to the ice first? Who gets the best ice line? Let's see. It's all going to come down to this for Winky and Min. Min with the inside does not get the right approach onto that bobsleigh. Winky facing first right now, having a lot of speed at that. Chang unable to catch up. Fitty as well, but it turns out that you cannot hit the side of the ring. You got to go in the ring. Not the outside, the inside of the ring. No. Oh, Winky Face had it all right now. Just to jump a bit more to the left. But unfortunately, he denies himself.
Oh, the pressure got too high for him. Oh, I can definitely feel that. He just needed to steer a bit to the left, that it would have been enough, but he tried to maintain as much speed because the players really don't see the other players go, so they only can rely on the checkpoints they can see on the sides. He probably didn't notice. He tried to go for the full title line approach and didn't really work out. As we are entering now on the ice section in the next round, Fitty at the moment in the lead. Oh no, Fitty crashes out! And now we have Chang, Min trying to go for the ice slide. Winky Face with not the most optimal line, looks like, but he still maintains it. Like, where are the Koreans? Hard to say where the Chang is actually from the back, but looks like very safe approach from Winky Face. Winky Face tries to be a bit more safe. And congratulations to Winky Face on winning Asian Trackmania Championship Fall 2021. Very nerve-wracking for him. And I think he has a massive few now going on. But we still have the second, third, and fourth place for him. Min is still in finalist. Fitty is looking quite spicy here. Maybe he can deny the Koreans for the second place, but Min is still in finalist. Chang is only 2 points away.
Points away indeed. That was a nail biter from start to finish. Took us 4 rounds, but we can finally crown Winky Face as the champion of the AOTC. But we're not done. We need to see who is second place. Chang right now in the lead, with Fitty following close behind. Min with the inside ice line looking pretty good. Chang not having the best entry into the bobsleigh section. Min having more speed than Chang, but does he have more speed than Fitty? Doesn't look like it. Fitty brings in another 10 points, putting Fitty into finalist mode. So now Min has to deal with the pressure of a double finalist situation, but in this situation,
it triple finalist?
It's triple even. You're right. This is it. Make or break. I totally missed. Chang was so close.
We'll have totally triple finalists for second place now. Fitty made a nice comeback, so it's gonna be a triple finalist for second place in AOTC between 2 Koreans and Fitty from Australia. The winner of this round will be second place. There are no deniers here. Looks like Min having with the shakiest start so far. Fitty still maintains his first place, goes a bit over the grass, but looks like goes for a bit of a safer type trip. But let's see what happens in the end. Min gets the oversteer. Min is out. Min is out. Fitty is still in the lead, so looks like he will have an insane comeback unless he doesn't pull a Winky Face at the very end. And we'll have 2 Australian, 1, 2, and Fitty will, with the insane comeback, will get the second place in the Asia Unknown's Trackmania Championship. And now it's all up to the 2 Koreans in the 1v1 for the third place.
1v1 for the third place. you know, it was one of the things mentioned before, right? That ice section, the ice blocks in general are not very much in favor of the Korean players, and it really came back to haunt them with the point increase. We went back, right? We went back to Hütte, and it cost them all, right? Min was doing a tremendous job denying Winky Face on Burn It All Down, taking advantage of the fact that he was nervous, right? It was he was nervous, he was shaky, he was getting these lines that he would normally get just didn't hit in the way that you would expect him to. Very happy to see that he was able to close it out. And in many ways, definitely the one who deserved the victory, having been in the lead for pretty much the entire match. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate that they ended up on Huta like that, right? The two Korean players. I think if that wasn't the case, if that one was perhaps the second or the third map, then they would probably feel a lot more confident during that final part of it all, the final match of it all. Right now, we just gotta figure out which of the two Korean players will be in third place, which of the ones will be in fourth. This is the last round, period, unless they both decide to DNF for some reason.
Yeah, best of luck to the final players. Bit unfortunate about the map order that they received, because this map where they are could potentially were looking a bit stronger than previous one, but it all comes down for the third place. The Korean 1v1 in AOTC for the third place. Looks so far so good from both of the players, both between Chang and Min. Looks like Chang has a bit better start. Min gets a bit of an oversteer there, loses a bit of a speed. Both having a very nice tight lines there. Min has a bit more speed. Uses now his hyper potential. Now overtakes, gets a bit better a bobsled as well. Overtakes Chang right there. We saw that Chang actually now goes for the attack. Proper exit speed now for the Chang, but looks still pretty close with the minor drifts at the end. And it will actually be Chang who will secure the third place in the Asia No Trackmania Championship, and Min will sadly be in fourth place. Very unfortunate there for Min, but still seeing that both new Korean well, not really new, but new to the competitive scene nowadays in the new game, still both of them reaching the grand final is a very impressive performance from both of them. So GG's to all of the players. Congratulations to Winky Face on first place, Fitty in second, Chang in third, and Min in fourth. Very solid performances. We saw a very exciting grand final, I think. Also, the losers and winners bracket final were very, very exciting matches and sick matches to watch. Awesome to see this region improve in such a way during the last few months, actually. So the level has definitely improved from last season. And what are all your thoughts about the event and what we saw from the players?
It's been a joy to watch. I think that is definitely the main feeling that I have with all of this. Like, huge props to all the players really dedicating themselves to you know, like getting these tracks down and pat. And you know, as mentioned before, Winky Face apparently was already getting some PBs in preparation for today's matches as well, right? He really wanted to go for it, and it definitely paid off in spades for him, despite that wonky end. Just, you know, allowing Min to get into finalist mode from 91 points. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. Definitely check out all the players if you haven't already, and any of the socials that they might use, because they just put up a tremendous performance, and it's been an exciting final. It's been a lot closer than the winners final as well. You definitely saw the Korean players getting a bit more into their own right. And Fitty also just trying to keep up with everyone else. It was very much a race to the first place, and I don't know, I'm excited to see pretty much all the players in the future. The time differences definitely make it harder for these players to compete in tournaments that are, you know, EU times or NA times for that matter. So it's very nice to see these players being able to show off their stuff in a format like this. Not only that, being rewarded with a cash prize along with it as well, right? That's $90 going into the pocket of Winky Face right there. 60 going to Fitty, 30 to Chang, and 20 to Min. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, you can't be too disappointed, right? Like, dinner's sorted. You got dinner. It's good. We're good. And Winky Face can go out and get some lobster or something. I don't know. He's going to get a fancy steak dinner. no, he can treat himself. He can be very, very proud of himself of how he's done today, and hopefully he's he's losing some of those nerves right now. I'm sure he's still feeling those jitters.
Yeah, but overall was an awesome performance. We saw quite a bigger pool of, let's just say, improved players as well during the 3 weeks of the event. There were a bit of some upsets happening, like players like Seb did not make it, for example, in the top 8, who was looking as one of the favorites as well to maybe even win the event, but in both of the open qualifiers he did not manage to go through. So that was one of the bigger upsets in the tournament, I think. But overall, very, very awesome to see the amount of players we have seen, the level has been, and the playoffs, I think, also was a very entertaining watch. Some snipes from Einol as well, happening here and there. Some a bit of funnier moments, clips in here and there, and some sick rounds as well. So overall, an awesome tournament here. But we are actually not done for today. We are done with Asian Host Trackmania Championship, but there will be a special announcement coming in around 14 to 13 minutes. Thank you all, everyone who were in for Asian Host Trackmania Championship. Hope you all enjoy. If you're all from that region, definitely join their local community Discord, or also join Trackmania seasonal Discord, where you can find more updates about it. We try to notify when some regional events are gonna happen to give promotion to some of the minor regions in Trackmania. Try to give them a bit of exposure as well, to potentially pop on, like we did with the North and South American Open. That was played out in the end. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us. Shoutouts to Chryso as well, who was one of the casters. Big shoutouts to Raveout, who was the observer for the tournament. Vliathon for the assets and graphics. Resir administrating all the servers in the back. Erwin Weber also trying to set up all the servers and automated server system. Rizzy for updating the Wikipedia page about it, so we get information in real time. And Boney C as well for being a host and one of the casters for the tournament. So big shoutouts to all of the people who were involved. Hopefully I did not forget anyone. As well. So yeah, if you're from Asia or those region, there are a lot of like tournament scenes and sub cups happening as well. So definitely check those out if you're from this region. But yeah, we're gonna be having a minor break, and we will be back with a special announcement in around 12 to 13 minutes. So see you then. Alright, so since we're starting to enter a new season, we haven't really had anything new in the Trackmania season series so far. We are presently happy to announce 2 new competitions coming made the Trackmania Seasonal Challenger series, and as well that there will be Trackmania Seasonal Championship coming soon as well. If you speak about the Trackmania Seasonal Challenger series that you just saw, this will be a completely new competition series that will be starting next month, with a goal to potentially increase more semi-pro players and pro players in the Trackmania scene. One of them, we have invited multiple teams that will be starting off in the group stages with some of the well-known Trackmania clans, teams, and organizations to potentially not only to establish themselves as a brand, but maybe also invest more in the game, as well as expand themselves as an established team, and maybe even profit, also give something to their players that is not only the prize money. So this competition series will be first started in this specific season, with the fall season. It will be done in a very similar fashion as we saw Trackmania Country Championship be done in the previous seasons, but there will be one of the goals of this competition is to give the universal competition series that will be to give opportunity for people from Asia, Oceania, North America, South America to play at their friendly times as well. That is a big issue in Trackmania scene so far. That will be started off with the open qualifiers from the regions, with 4 from Europe, Middle East, Africa, 1 qualifying team from North America and South America, and 1 from APAC or Asia Pacific regions. But these open qualifiers then will be used as a base to expand regional leagues in a very unique form, like it's done in some other esports games. So for this first edition, we will be starting with the very familiar Swiss stage that will be done from the qualified teams, that will be played in a single elimination bracket with on the campaign tracks based on the format F ranked in a best of 5 and best of 7 sets between the teams. But there will be an option to as well to swap out the players as well. So it will be not really a franchise league, but each of the slots will be owned by the team, or like the team together, or the team's brand that will be owned for the future. The prize pool at the moment is at the base prize pool is at $300. That is, you can help expanding by purchasing the limited edition Trackmania Seasonal Fall 2021 skins, or contributing directly to the prize pools for that. Then the qualified teams that will not only be making to the playoffs, but will also be maintaining their slots for the next edition, will be given an option to put their favorite teams or teams' fanskin on the skin shop, where each purchase of the fanskin will give an opportunity for these teams to potentially profit from being in the game as well. And that too is to establish these new series for potential growth and an expansion of semi-pro and pro players in Trackmania. As well, after that, in the fall season, we'll be relaunching the seasonal country championship on the fall season with a very similar format as we'll see in the Challenger series that will be played with regional qualifiers. One thing to mention that in the Challenger series, the regional since Trackmania has the amazing feature that ping doesn't really matter that much, the regional qualifiers is a bit of an asterisk. For example, if there's a French team that will be able to play in the North American or South American, but they will have to obligate by their that specific region's time slots. This will be what is coming for the Trackmania seasonal series in this season, as well as establishing this new competitive series as well for the future. So definitely look forward to the next events that will be happening as we will be also supporting a lot of the regional scenes and giving them an exposure as well helping them host the regional tournaments as well. Anyways, I have been SRK, who has been the main organizer of the Asia Trackmania Championship Seasonal Series and Baltic Trackmania League and some other events as well. And this will be it for today's broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the announcement. Hope you also love to see some of the teams trying them out to qualify for this league and series. That I would love to see. If you have any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them on Discord. That detailed rulebook and registrations for both country championship and the Challenger series will be starting next Tuesday. If you're gonna be wanting to listen to my voice, I was recently announced that I'll be one of the casters for Trackmania Grand League Challenger series, so I'll definitely also be there on the main Trackmania channel. Hope you enjoyed the stream from the Asia Trackmania Championship as well as the announcement, and we'll see you in the future events. Bye bye.